Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Aramis. Talk about the Bills, dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
What's goody? 40 keys, y'all.
That definitely deserves a. Oh, that is way too low. Wow. That was a great entrance for you.
We're gonna start it off right. And I just want to say happy belated Easter and happy Dingus Day. People outside of Buffalo, what the hell is Dingus Day? Don't worry about it.
Bunch of people wearing red outside on homemade floats and
smacking people with pussy willows. Yeah.
And I guess the guys are supposed to squirt the girls they like with the water. So
and the girl hits you with a pussy willow. Pow! Yeah. I know. Make a pause, I guess, but whatever. It's been around forever.
Yeah.
Somehow it's probably, if Junior was here, it would be a pause. He probably couldn't explain it, but it would still be a pause.
Probably.
We do a roll call. We got a little 18 right now. Watch you do a roll call. I got you while you the actual faction. We got Weston in the build. I'm not going to read your comment. Jay Ham, Slim Nady, Billy D. Williams, Code 45. Tommy, also known as Mafia Sports Report, in the building. Who else do we have? We got Videsh. We got me. No Bones. And I roll. Marcus Warren, Derek G. And Big Soccer Lindsay. What's happening with everybody? How's everybody feeling? Good weekends, I hope, for everybody out there.
How was your Easter, bro?
Well, we took Ken and his best man to go see Mario yesterday.
How'd you like it?
We saw him that 4HDX RD.
Okay.
We saw Final Destination in that, right?
Yeah.
A lot less movement in Final Destination than Mario.
Yeah.
Mario had me going nuts. Squirt. I'm like, what for kids? And Ken's never been in this before. So him and his man's like, I want popcorn. I was like, no, you don't. You don't get no popcorn. Because I'm thinking, Final Destination. You saw Mario?
Yeah.
You saw it in that?
We saw it in 3D. We didn't see it in 4D.
Yeah, lucky you. Because it was more of an experience. Me and T were just getting jostled and shaken, and yeah, it was nuts. Don't eat before you take your kid to see this. If you have a weak stomach, not because the movie's bad, you're gonna get moved. You're gonna get moved a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I can imagine, like, seeing a movie and knowing what happens is like I can just imagine you, like, if you're trying to eat popcorn this is not happening. It's not happening.
I mean, he was in the train. He looked. I know. I like, no, watch your eyes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, you know what? I enjoy the Mario movies for nothing else other than the creativity of kind of fleshing out the storyline.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, there's like canon storyline and all that kind of stuff that gets followed, but like my daughter was like telling me before we even got to, did y'all stay for the two the after in credit scenes?
Yep.
Post credit scenes. She was telling me that well, I don't want to ruin it for people, but she told me what the very last one was before it even came on. Like, because she knows the storyline.
Oh, okay.
She knows the canon storyline. You know what I'm saying? So she was telling me, oh, they're probably gonna do this with the next movie. Yeah,
no. What's up, Laura? No, Ken is a lot more of a Grinch.
Really?
He's like, wait a minute, Dad, is this Mario 64? Because this was in Mario 3. I'm like, just watch the movie, Ken. I don't even know. I say, he's like, but this is 64. I'm like, dude, it's not exactly the game.
So he's trying to understand it through like the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, wait, this is like Mario, because in Mario 3, I'm like, okay.
No, Allie will be on YouTube for a couple hours just kind of looking up storylines and stuff like that. Like, there's this other game that she plays, Poppy's Playtime.
Oh, Ken plays that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to, and I never understood it, but like I went and I watched literally it was a 38-minute video that explained the entire storyline of Poppy's Playtime.
Mm-hmm.
After I understood the story, it was like, it's not that bad. It's actually not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
When you know the full storyline and then you go back and you play the game, like it's actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and Ken, they had, I think, what was it? It was a preview for like a Five Nights at Freddy's or something like that. And he's like some kind of cartoon version. I don't even know if it was on the movie, but he's like, they're cooked. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Dad, it's Five Nights at Freddy's style. They're gonna die. I'm like, Ken, they're not. He's like, it's. I'm like, this is our childhood. I said, my childhood, your childhood. We all went to get the subpar pizza, watch the broken animatronics, and go play video games.
Right.
We lived. They're not gonna die. He's like, they're cooked. Everybody that goes to this place is doomed. I'm like, okay, Ken, whatever. Sure. Let's see. What did Tommy say I'm avoiding? Let's see. I know it has something to do with Beane.
Oh, I was to answer your question, Nate. It sort of, not really. He doesn't come off that way throughout the movie.
What did you say? Let's see. What's good, fam? I said what's good. Mafia.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to find what I missed. Can't believe Keys ignored my comment. I did. I don't think I did.
You ignored a comment?
I don't think I did.
Woo!
I might have.
Shame yourself.
It's Mafia Sport. I might have.
Oh. You know what I'm just playing, Tommy. I'm just playing.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna explain the whole show because I'm not listening to that.
What did he say? We're just trying to explain how. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of mad. I read it now.
See. I didn't ignore it. I said I'm not reading it. That's not ignoring it. I addressed it. I just didn't read it.
Listen to Laura. Listen to Laura right over there. Don't start, Tommy. Just don't start.
Right. What's up, brother? So how was your weekend? How was it?
It was kind of hectic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. You know, my wife saved the day. You know, with making sure that everything was set to host because we host on Easter. So we had the family over and it was kind of cool. Like I was very proud of my wife because she had this kind of like, you know, gut feeling that if she didn't, you know, put out all the, you know, accoutrement of, you know, like Easter and, you know, come up with games for the kids to play and stuff like that, this would be the Easter where the entire family shows up. And it just so happened that everybody except like 3 people showed up.
Oh yeah.
So it worked out. It went extremely well. It was fun. I love her family to death. It's always a good time when they come over.
Excellent.
And you know, everything went off without a hitch.
Did you fall asleep?
No. You know, it was weird. I couldn't get to sleep last night.
Right.
And I don't know if it was just the natural, you know, change of pace of, you know, being so used to just me and my wife and my children. And now all of a sudden we're entertaining and all that kind of stuff. But I got into bed at maybe 10:30 and I don't think I was able to get to like real sleep until like 11:15 or something like that. Like I just wasn't tired. I couldn't get myself to be tired, but I should have been. I mean, I did a bunch of research for today's show. Yeah. I mean, I'm
glad because I saw the title driving out. I was like, you're going to carry this one.
No.
I have. So I mean, I can carry a tune. This was hilarious to me. You see this?
What?
Tommy's on Beane Island talking to Wilson.
He's got Beane written across the forehead of the ball.
We need the plate.
That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. I believe it. I believe it. Let me post this invite link because I think I asked J Ham to call in. He's got some thoughts on Keon Coleman.
Oh, Keon Coleman. Okay.
He's got some thoughts on Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
So definitely, I'm willing to get to that. If anybody else has any thoughts from the last show on Keon Coleman and you want to voice your opinion,
yeah. Keon Coleman. I saw J Ham said he had something on DJ Moore. Like, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, if the people that watch the show don't want to support it, I will. So,
right.
Talk to me, brother.
We'll take it.
Matter of fact, cousin Ham. My bad. That's cousin Ham.
Cousin Ham.
I can't change it because we were already cousins. Same last name. We got it. Well, I don't know same last 4 characters in the last name, so we'll just do it that. Let's see. Mario video games are classics. 1, 2, 3, especially Mario 3 and Mario World. The others, meh. Yeah, Ken is not big on 2. I thought 2 was weird because I like when you could jump on things and then pick them up and like suplex them. So that was kind of my allure with Mario 2, and you could have Peach kind of float and then all the little wacky leg movements, the super jumps. I mean, that was a good time. It was a good time as a child. Does Beane have the Beans rant? Let's see. When can I call in for my weekly Beans? Anytime. Yep. Anytime.
The link is up now, so go for it.
Does Beane have the Beans? Hey, anytime, brother. Whether you believe in Bean Island or not, click the like. There you go.
That's it right there. That part. You go. That part right there.
I'm gonna have to
grab my charger from the bag.
Hey, Nady, no, we're not doing that. J-Ham has a floor. If he calls in, we will talk about DJ Moore. We will talk about Keon Coleman. We will talk about we'll talk about all of it.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's go change a pace, because I'm sure the folks want to talk about something a little different, want to hear something a little different. So we'll start in a different place.
Who told you this?
What did I want to get to?
We talk about motor? Sure.
So
go ahead.
I was looking at this, and I don't remember what part of what I saw that made me think about this.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all kind of saying that this is probably Dion Dawkins' last year, right? Contractually, it's not, right? Because he's got this year, next year, and then he's got 2 void years after that. Maybe 3. It might be 3. Let me pull that up while I still got some juice here.
I can't remember. I know he has I think it's just 2. I think it's 2. 28 and 29, I believe.
Okay. So my question here is, because for Dion Dawkins's contract, and how that plays out over the next 2 to 3 years, is so in 2028 his contract goes to void years for the next 2 years. 2029 his contract is completely up. The Bills are only obligated to pay him $4.3 million. Next year, though, because his cap hit this season is $24 million. Next year is $25 million. Now, here's what I found out. So if you go post June cut or trade, you free up $18 million. And you're carrying over $6.5 million into the following 2 years, whether that's spread out over 2 years or just goes to the following year. It's a void year anyway. You're paying him to be gone. That $18 million is going to be very valuable, because if you go and you look at the Bills' salary cap right now, for next year, I mean, they're $30 million in the hole already right now. Now, for those of you whose jaws just dropped, that's your boy Brandon Beane at work.
You know that somebody's jaw did not drop.
Right, because we you knew.
I foretold this for 3 years now. What kind of man would I be able to? We say, what? No way.
So needless to say, I think it's clear, to me anyway, and this would be my move, is trade Dawkins for whatever you can get for him, because next year's draft is supposed to be extremely top heavy, but the guys at the top are like generational players, right? So in my mind, you're going to be in year 2 of a win now mentality. Go all out. Like Dion Dawkins, you out of here, whether it's Tylen Grable or whoever else you can find at left tackle. Maybe you like Chase Lunt more than Tylen Grable, you put him in there.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Right. But the bottom line is, get that $18 million in the door, because in 2027, I don't really think there's anybody that you could restructure that would be anywhere near, the end of their contract that would be worth doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wanted to try and free up Josh Palmer's, money, okay, you're not really going to get much there. If you try to do something similar with DJ Moore to what you did this year, again, you're pushing money way back into some years where he definitely won't be as productive for you. Do you want to do that with the salary cap? Maybe Brandon Beane does, but it's going to be very top heavy next year, where there's a huge drop off between Connor McGovern's contract and Dalton Kincaid's fifth year. His 5th year, he's only going to make $8 million. Connor McGovern is slated to make his cap hit is $7 million next year.
Just made me laugh.
What?
That made me laugh.
Man, if it was there, boy, I tell you, we would be banging the table for it right now.
Absolutely.
For sure. Just tickling you real good.
He said, "Watch it." I was loving this.
Tommy, this might not be the
episode for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
He's pinning himself into the corner. He got Weston at least, though. Weston is there.
Yeah. What is he feeding Weston? Like, what is he sending to Weston's house? Is he
Beane juice?
It's got to be something.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be the sweat from Beane's brow that they are.
From the sunglasses, the stunning shades.
Is that what it is? Oh, I found the shades too. If you want to slap those on, and then you got to go with the CSI.
Every segment we talk about Beane, just unprompted. Just.
Oh man!
Robert must watch Talking Buffalo. Lisa Ball watching Beane.
Yo, wow!
I love that.
You know what I'm gonna do too. So because of all the support from everybody, and thank you for that, we are able to get another monitor in the background behind Key here. So that'll be set up. I just put it up like literally an hour and a half before the show started. It's kind of why we were late, because I was trying to hook up the HDMI cable and all that kind of stuff to have it ready for this show. I wasn't able to get it done on time, but what I'm gonna start doing now, whenever you put the shades on, I'm gonna put like some house in flames or something behind you, so you can literally be the meme of him walking away. Oh, that would be great.
Said players that we haven't drafted yet had more years. What's happening here?
Yo, keep it coming.
This is great.
Just keep it coming. All the Beane jokes. That's this episode right now.
Just waiting for this right here.
Yep. Make Tommy pay for jumping in here with Beane Island. Make Weston pay for jumping in here with some Beane Island. Just hammer that dude.
We're making some kind of point before I can't. I gotta turn the comments off in a minute because I can't focus. Go ahead.
So my question would be, do you think the Bills are better off trading or cutting Dion, or keeping him for one last season? And I really want people to like chime in on this, because the thought process for keeping Dion would be, do you want to create another hole on the roster, you know, for a pretty important position when you're still in win now mode? You know what I mean? But I think for people like you and I who are seeing, like, I don't think this thing with Beane is going to work out anyway. So for me anyway, I think he's got 2 years and he's out. For you, he's just got the job whenever.
I think he might lose that GM, but he's going to be here.
Right. In either circumstance, though, there's got to be a point where he eventually has to rebuild the team.
I wouldn't be surprised if he walked through that door right now. Like, what y'all talking about? Just break all the fourth wall is just destroyed. He's like, what the y'all talking about? Just real hood like a Beane that nobody's ever seen before.
He just kicks the door down all of a sudden.
Yeah, like right. What y'all talking about? What are you bitching about? You got a team, don't you? This is great.
Oh my god!
I know, guys. Don't unsubscribe. We're just being funny right now. I think Tommy's
before the show.
He's right.
We're sitting here rolling laughing because I was up under the desk trying to fix the HDMI cable to the.
He was in there like, what you got here? You got yourself a leaky oil pan. The distributor cap needs to be changed out. And I'm like, wow, he's plucking. I was expecting the black and mild to be on his lip when he got him up under the table.
Exactly. And here I come with, you're right. You got to lean like that because the sciatica ain't going to give up on you. And if you decide to stand it up,
you're going to fall apart.
Ain't no cars getting fixed.
Shut the shop down.
You can't be unked and not be leaning on the car like that. Just whatever it is, cigarette, black and mild in your mouth, whatever it is, you leaning on something. With your elbow,
with
too.
Your elbow.
With your
you
elbow.
In there, you invested, and
Not
you pointing like this because you got a beer. You might have a Bud Light in your hand. What you want to do is you want to change out this alternator. Anything happens to the alternator.
And what makes it worse is is probably his car.
Right.
And there's somebody else he's trying to teach to work on it.
He done been to Pep Boys like 17 times, still can't figure it out. Everything is brand new except for the one thing he needs to make the car run. The whole thing's rebuilt.
Just sitting there with a car cover on it for 5 years. Keep working on the same 4 parts every summer.
That's all he knows.
Okay.
So
answer the question.
to trade Dion. I don't want to. I don't want to. What we could do is interesting. We have a hole at left guard. I don't really care about Austin Corbett.
Mm-hmm.
They paid Alec Anderson $3 million to play this year. They still got SVPG. Have yourself a nice little competition there, and you can move on to your succession plan at left tackle, Tylen Grable or Chase Lunt. Somebody said Spencer Brown could move over. And I don't want to move Spencer to the left side. He's good on right. I'm not saying he can't play it. I'm not saying that, but I just think he's entrenched in that right side, and we know what we have there. Let's keep that there. Yep. So yeah, I would keep him. Like I said, I don't know what they're going to do in the draft this year. I don't know how this works. After the 30th, after the 25th this year, what we're going to look like. But worst case scenario, I still say I'd be fine, giving me extension, lowering the cap hit. That helps us in next year now. That helps us in 28.
If he's going to be willing to move to left guard. That's the only way I do that. You gonna let him retire at left tackle here?
Well, he'd be left tackle, but I wouldn't guarantee he's a starter. Is what I'm saying. I would still be trying to replace him.
That's tough.
This is a competition, but
the status that he's had in this city of being like a cornerstone player, like being one of the guys that everybody knows. Now all of a sudden I got to compete with Chase Lunt, Tylen Grable, and whoever else they want to bring. That's hard.
Well, compete.
Bro.
You got to compete because iron sharpens iron. If you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
But I'm at 32 years old, I'm not ready to hand this to you again, because you came in sloppy last year. You came in out of shape. You came in out of technique. Your technique was horrible last year.
Yeah.
So this is your incentive to bring it back. You said you got to lose 10 pounds, 15 pounds, whatever your real weight was. You're going to be 320, 310, whatever you said. So now I'm forcing you to get down to that 310, 320, 315, whatever it is, and get yourself back in playing shape. I don't want to see that WWE BS. I don't want to hear about you trading yourself to Miami. I want you to be serious for once. Even if it's the Barrettas weighing you down, take those out and make it happen, because you're still an NFL player making $17 million or whatever it is, whatever the cap hit is. You're making a lot of money, and you've been a starter for 10 years almost. This is your 10th season. Trent Williams is still playing, I think, right? Trent Williams?
Yeah.
He's what, 15 years or what, 14, 15? He's still
no, he might be like 16, 17.
Yeah, I'm gonna say and he's still one of the best. Dion, you got tread on the tires.
Bro, he's still a 99 overall on Madden.
He's never gonna, bro. He's never not gonna be.
Yeah, right.
And the thing is, you have the tread on the tires when you look at guys like that. Dion never really had a real injury. He's been hurt, but he's never had one of those season enders or one of those multiple games that he's missed.
Yeah. So
now is the time for you to say, you know what? I'm the dude with the target on my back. Somebody's coming for my spot. Either I can get it or I don't. But whoever beats me has to be better than me. They'll be noticeably better than me on the field, because the Bills are not going to invest this kind of money in a backup if the starter isn't that great. So the ball's in my court. That's how you have to look at it.
I think that's always kind of been my gripe with the players that Beane heavily invests in, is these are never going to be guys where when they get to the end of their contract, we aren't having conversations like this, where he's probably bad enough to get beat by a young guy on the team now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather have 4 or 5 Trent Williamses on the team than 10 to 15 Dion Dawkins is on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, even this year, like, Tylen Grable is probably going to look better in certain instances at left tackle than Bodega Cat. We'll get to you.
Yeah, we see you, brother.
Yep, we see you. So don't leave. We're probably gonna see instances from Tylen Grable, Chase Lunt that look like, man, these guys need a shot. But now Dion is in the way. Like, we shouldn't be talking about cornerstone players like Dion Dawkins in that way.
Right.
But how can you not, with what he's put on tape for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
So that's again, so much of this comes down to decisions made by the guy who still has a job in Buffalo right now, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, he's a starter, but if Brandon Beane was drafting, 2 or 3 Trent Williamses, every 5 years, let's just say every 5 years he drafted, 3 Trent Williams level players. Like, that's fine, because now you got wave after wave after wave of guys who are the backbone of the team.
Right.
But so far, the only consistent backbone of the team that you've had to this point is Josh Allen. Literally everybody that was drafted in the 2020 draft is no longer here, bro. And it's only 6 years later. Technically 5. 6 hasn't started yet.
Right.
So the wave that was supposed to be coming into their own now is not even here. So what does that say? You set yourself back by 3 years every time you miss a first round pick. Like, people in the league say that all the time. If you don't get the first round right, you mess it up by 3 years.
Yeah, I am with you on that. And I think the biggest thing with the Bills, especially when it comes to missing, is not cutting bait. It's like when you trade stocks. Okay, I got the bullish candle. I'm going up. I see the trajectory. I'm passing the EMA. Let's do it. It hit the top, and now it's coming back down. It's gonna recover.
Right.
It busts down past that EMA. Now you tanking. It's gonna come back. No, it's not. It just cut bait. Take the loss, or take your win, even if it's not your projection. If you see you're losing, you got to get out of it. Kyrie Elam,
exactly.
People like that, and I mean, people say, yeah, we'll do it with Keon. I don't know what we have in Keon. We've seen a Seahawks game where Keon Coleman was like, yeah. We've seen a Ravens week 1 game where Keon Coleman was like, yeah. But then we've seen 9 games where Keon Coleman's either been a healthy scratch or a disciplined or whatever, and he's absolute nothing. But it's hard for me to really bang on Keon when every receiver we've had around him outside of Khalil Shakir is averaging 2 or 3 catches a game and 27 yards. It's not just him, it's everybody. So that tells me, right or wrong, what I tell you last time, I'm right. I'm always right, even when I'm wrong. That's not so much the player, it's the scheme. Everybody eats. Everybody's getting these morsels. Everybody's getting meager portions. So if we have one guy that's performing Keon Coleman, we'll talk about it. We have Khalil Shakir, who's got to catch everything at the line and show you his God-given ability, which is underrated.
Yeah.
So when we get Brandon Cooks, people like Brandon Cooks. What did he have in Buffalo? 11 catches on 23 targets.
Right.
We're happy about that. We bring him back. Why?
Because at the end of the day, I think I figured out what it is about these players and this team and what creates this aura that these players seem to have in Buffalo, right? I think Bills fans, more than most fans, probably more than all fans, connect emotionally with moments that the team has, whether it's in playoffs, regular season, whatever. I think this city and these fans and fans all over the world of the Buffalo Bills connect with moments for this team more than most teams. And I think some of that also gets funneled into the marketing that happens here too, where the team they cultivate that culture of every moment matters. It's about the moments. It's about the memories. It's about the nostalgia. They cater to that so heavily that we just continue to reprogram ourselves after a while. They don't even have to do the heavy lifting to get us to feel like we've connected with this team on an emotional level, to give up the money that we give up for them, to give up the time that we give up for them. So my point in saying all that is, if us as fans are connecting with moments with this team, then anytime that Brandon Cooks has made a big play in a game or a play that mattered or gotten a first down, that's an instant hit of dopamine for us. That sticks in the memory. Like that's biological programming at that point. Because we're already preconditioned to watch games from the standpoint of moments are going to stick. And then when they do, boom, instant dopamine hit. Now that's in the memory. It's in the deep memory, the long lasting memory bank. Right. So when we think about Brandon Cooks, when we think about all the nostalgia of Jim Kelly and all of those players, it's like they hold this iconic status because we're not just remembering the moment. We're getting a remnants of the dopamine hit for, like, we probably need to have a neurologist come in here and talk about this too. It'd be very interesting to hear. But we're probably having some sort of lesser dopamine hit just from the memory of that stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's ultimately what happens when we're watching these games. Yeah. So I think to a larger degree, it's not even that these players are good. It's that the culture.
You're like,
right.
That's the same with Amari Cooper to me.
Yes.
Same thing with Amari Cooper. You know, he comes and everything changed. It's mostly because nobody knew what he was capable of, and we saw it wasn't much. He retired after he left. He got hurt here
because nobody else was picking him up.
Right. He went back to LA or to Vegas, and he was like, "Ugh,
Gino,
right? What are we doing? What is we doing here?" To touch on a couple of things, I will be in full disclosure. I did not hate the Allen pick. However, I did want Rosen. This is why. At the time when Josh Allen got drafted, we had a horrible offensive line. And I said, this guy played at UCLA, and his offensive line is known as dog garbage. And he's putting up 400 yards, 300 yards, and he's putting it. So I'm like, he's used to getting smacked up.
And our offensive line
and they'll get him smacked up. He'll be right back at home. Yeah. Also, I wanted somebody to come in and challenge, buck the system. I wanted somebody to not be a yes man. I want somebody to not be like, oh, whatever you say, anything that you want me to do, I'll do without asking questions. And I heard Rosen say, wherever I go, I want to go somewhere where they're gonna challenge me, and I'm gonna challenge them. We're gonna bring it. Now, people saying Rosen was garbage. Josh Allen had a 50% completion percentage in college, but Josh Allen had a village. Now, full disclosure, Josh Rosen would have pissed the village off, and they'd be like, I'm not working with this dude, probably. So,
my God,
I'll give you that.
We forgot all about Bodega Cat.
Oh my God.
D is like, don't forget
you can curse me out. Go ahead. Write to him.
Yo.
My bad. Is he still there?
He might be on mute.
Can we unmute him?
Unmute yourself. Can I unmute? Nope. I'm not allowed to unmute him. He mad at us now.
Don't do that. Come back.
All right, hit me up in the private chat. Let me know when you're ready, bro.
Yeah, we'll stop what we're doing whenever you get there, if you're still watching the show.
Yeah.
F y'all, click.
It's like we didn't even plan to be this heavily into conversation this early, but it just happened.
This is not anywhere near what we were talking. Right. Beane Island, right. But yeah, no, I did not hate Allen. I literally was like, okay, well, because I remember watching the combine. They're like, oh, watch Josh Rosen, watch how late he throws, watch how far he throws. I'm like, he's late because he's launching the ball like 50 yards down the field on the go routes. I'm like, when the short patterns, the cross and stuff like that, he really wasn't anything special. But those go routes, it's like the ball is touching the top of RCA Dome, and guys are running up under it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty freaking good. And this guy's tall, big dude. There he is. Let's go.
All right, let's get him in here. Did you want your video on, bro?
All right.
Okay, there we go. All right, now we got you on here, bro. How you doing, man?
I mean, if you want to have your video on, that's fine, but we didn't. You there? Oh, he muted.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
You got to unmute yourself. You should be able to do it right then and there.
You would think so.
All right, I'm going to put you backstage again. Just go ahead. Oh, yeah. Okay, we got you. What's going on, man?
Hey, no, man. I was going to go on my weekly Does Beane have the Beans rant, but you guys basically summed it up for me. I was going to lead off with Dion Dawkins. Should have been on the chopping block a season ago. If this was Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, Dion Dawkins would have been gone when his value was at the highest. And only bad teams keep good left tackles. Just think about DeBrickashaw Ferguson, probably one of the best left tackles we've seen in the past 15 years. The Jets just wasted his life. It just wasted his career. Trent Williams was on a team before he went to the 49ers, and he's not in his prime, but he's still very good. But his prime was wasted on a bad team. We should not keep Dion Dawkins just because he's good. And Josh Allen doesn't need elite left tackle. He needs elite guards. the defensive ends are no match for Josh Allen. It's the guys that's coming inside. So like we don't really actually need Dion Dawkins. He should have been gone, and we could get some good value for him right now during the draft, and we could still be serviceable up front with a rookie. We could find somebody at left tackle. I mentioned Spencer Brown. He could move the right to left tackle, but you're right. We should keep him at right since that's already solidified with him and Sabo on the right side. We should just keep it. But does Beane have the beans to get rid of a good player? Because that's really what the question is. What the question is, does he have the balls, the cojones, to go deep down into the trade block and say, you know what, my third, probably my second best player on the team, let's trade him right now. I just don't think he has it in him. I don't think he has the cojones to actually trade a good player. We have never seen it yet. But that's just my weekly rant for Does Beane Have the Beans? And you guys have a great day, and I love the show.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Nah, and I think the weird thing about what he said was we've actually traded players that became good after they were left here. Wyatt Teller, that's the day that like. So I mean, no, I agree. We don't trade for the most part players while they're on the upswing, while we have a future plan or somebody behind them that might be the next thing. Mm-hmm. They just let your candle burn out, and then they say, you know what, we'll give you an extension because you did what you did for 10 years, and we'll just keep you around, so you can retire a bill. That's a big thing for people, and I mean that ties into your point earlier about the memories, the thoughts, the nostalgia, that dopamine hits. Like, oh man, I can't see Dion Dawkins somewhere else. I can't see, when Thurman Thomas went to Miami, man, Buffalo turned inside out. Bruce Smith went to Washington, Buffalo. The nerve of this guy.
Yeah.
So it's like, Andre Reed went to Denver. Like, what the hell's going on? You can't leave Buffalo. I didn't know you could do this. How could you do this to me?
Right. Me. They all feel like it's happening to them directly.
Yeah. He got rid of Diggs. He did get rid. Well, Diggs said, I can't do this offense, and he actually wasn't great in the offense. So
I really want you to address this one.
What we got? Beane hasn't drafted anyone. Okay. All right. Alan, if anybody knows anything about how scouting goes, they scout 2 years in advance. Mm-hmm. He got drafted in 2018. 2 years before that, 2016. Where was Sean McDermott? Where was Brandon Beane? They weren't in Buffalo. Neither one of them. So, if you're saying that they scout him to go to Carolina, I doubt that, but maybe. And also to say they came to Buffalo and knew that was a fit right away, that's tough when Josh Allen was really not really much of anything at Wyoming in 2016. You don't trade up 1 million picks to get this guy that you haven't vetted heavily when you're talking about Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold was lighting it up. Josh Rosen was averaging 300-plus yards a game. James Cook. Okay. Who else was on there? Shakir. Okay. Yeah, we got Shakir in the 4th round, 5th round, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Kincaid. What does that mean? Everybody wants him gone. Benford, 6th round. Bishop. Yep. Maxwell. People say he's not that great. They say that's not it. Deion Walker. 4th round, which is a hit. But I mean, you're talking about 8 years, 9 years of we'll say 6 draft picks a year. You're hitting on the back end. That doesn't account for the first 18 picks, 24 picks of Beane and McDermott's tenure. I mean, you got what? 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not going to do Kincaid because people don't like him. So 2 out of 24 picks so far. To Steve Lynn's point, what happens when you miss on the first 3 rounds? How long does it take for you to recover?
Right.
I mean, yeah, you made it up with buying people. You made it up with supplementing pieces to make these people better. You made it up with the free agents that you signed in for 1-year deals, and you could mask this and mask that. I want to see these guys when they have to play attacking style. I want to see these guys on defense when they have to play without being sheltered, I guess you'll say. because a lot of McDermott's defense was weak because we find out he didn't have a lot of faith in the guys. Whether he picked them or not, we didn't have a lot of faith in them. I don't know what the conversation about him was once he saw he might have said, you're right, I picked them, but they're no good. You got to do something with this. Yeah. And I mean, if you didn't like Dalton Kincaid, there was a market for him. You could have traded him, and it would have been team friendly to get rid of that money. Maxwell Hairston is too early. You can't say anything about Maxwell Hairston, even though I do like him. And we'll go on. I mean, we can go on any draft player that you want to talk about. We could go into semantics about it. But this draft we've had worse teams at draft. We do. They're not the worst drafting team. But when you're talking about a team that can't get and has not tried to get somebody for Josh Allen outside of Dalton Kincaid, that's a negative mark.
What I think people who enjoy what Brandon Beane has done to this point miss is they don't think deeply enough about the mentality that has to exist in order to draft high floor players. Right? What would somebody have to be thinking to draft high floor players? And if you look at all of the guys that are starters right now, all of them, I think Max Hairston is probably the only guy that I would categorize as a high ceiling player, right? Low floor, but high ceiling type of player because of his athleticism, because of, his acceleration and ability to recover and all that kind of stuff. That matters, right? But everybody else, Landon Jackson, I'm sorry, actually Deion Walker might be another one of those high ceiling guys because of his athleticism. But your Landon Jacksons, your Christian Benfords, your Greg Rousseaus, your Ed Olivers, your Terrell Bernards, even your Cole Bishops. Like, these are high floor guys, which means they're going to be able to contribute early, and it's going to look good as a draft pick. Why? Because they can come in and they won't get your team killed. But when it comes to those high leverage moments and you need a playmaker, they can't be that. They've shown you consistently now for years. A lot of these guys, Terrell Bernard, hasn't been that since he's been here. He'll do that in the regular season. How often has he done that in the playoffs? Right? So when we're thinking about the mentality behind drafting high floor players, you have to realize that mindset comes from, well, I don't want to get killed for messing up a draft pick. So I'm going to get guys that at the very least are good contributors day one. Because at the very least, the worst they can say about those players is they don't have a high ceiling. But that's not the worst thing you could say about a player, right? So worst case scenario, I got mid-tier guys in here that are going to be, consistent, constant contributors that are always healthy, that could possibly progress into a full-time starter. Best case scenario, we have one of these guys truly pop like James Cook and be, one of the best running backs in the NFL early. You know what I'm saying? Like, James Cook is best possible scenario. He was another high floor guy, low ceiling guy, but because because his vision was so elite and because we put him in a system that works for his skill set, now look at what he can do.
Yeah, he's doing nothing they planned on.
Right.
He's doing it. I mean, they told you. So that tells you right there. They planned on him being a scat back, receiving back, and now we're like, well, he's doing everything on the ground when we're throwing the ball. I mean, it'd be nice to do it, but at this point, it's like, do you really have to? And what was it? Oh God, I gotta get used to these mouths still. I disagree wholeheartedly. Disagree. Nobody be talking about the Bills without Allen. Not true.
If we still had James Cook, I think the Bills would just be, talked about as needing a quarterback.
I mean, the thing is, we talked about, he's talking about podcasters. We would have shows without Josh Allen.
He's saying there would be no podcast without Josh Allen? Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. Because that comes, see, that's what I'm talking about. What that tells me is people are fans of players.
Yeah.
I'll be here doing this show well before or well past Josh Allen, if you guys will have me. Had I had as Bodega said, the cojones to do this show years ago, like A asked me to, we would have been talking about it before Josh Allen.
True.
Because I think it's more fun to talk about a team without the star player that everybody gravitates towards, because it gives you more off-season subject matter.
Yeah.
Because you're not good, or you're good, but you're missing something. Now it's like, we got this guy, but nobody wants to talk about the wide receivers we don't have because you got Josh Allen. Nobody wants to talk about the left tackle that you don't really have because we got Josh Allen. Nobody wants to talk about the center that we're like, we re-signed because you got Josh Allen. Everything is because you got Josh Allen. Yeah. That makes it for a boring show. And that's why I'm always like, let's do more than that. Let's go outside the box here, because mentioning Josh Allen is a tagline. Yeah, it's cool. I would love to have done a podcast with Todd Collins.
Yep. See, that's what I said. Talk shows would be all about finding a QB.
Yeah. And I'd be all for it.
And it would still be interesting.
Yeah.
at the very least, it would be interesting.
Yo, I roll about to get banned.
What did he say?
He's about to get banned.
You having too much fun tonight, bro. I don't know what it is that you
but it's all true. It's all true.
That's right. Couple of questions I wanted to get to here from Daquan. First one is, why would anyone trade a good player in their prime? What happens to the Ravens if they traded Suggs before they win a Super Bowl, etc.? Well, I kind of wish you hadn't used Suggs, because they had won Super Bowls before Suggs even got there, and they've won a Super Bowl after he was there. Wait, did they? No, I'm sorry, they did not. But I'll say this: trading a good player in their prime, you're looking at the Micah Parsons trade, and the reason you do that is, if you look at the shift that the Cowboys are going through right now, they're transitioning from a heavy investment in defense. They got rid of DeMarcus Lawrence a couple of years ago. He ended up signing with the Seahawks, won a Super Bowl last year. They traded Micah Parsons last year to the Packers mid-season, and now they're looking for pass rushers in the draft. Basically, what the Cowboys have done is they've now cycled out all of their investments on defense that were making big time money, and pouring some of that money into the offense to surround Dak Prescott in his later years with enough talent for him to carry the team. But that happens on every good team. You load up on one side of the ball, and that's the side of the ball that kind of carries you to your wins and is the biggest contributor to wins and all that kind of stuff. Those guys age out, or those contracts age out, because that player is just, those players are not contributing what they used to create the same level of value for the number in the contract. So you get rid of those guys. You start to invest draft picks and free agents and franchise tags on offense, which is what the Cowboys have done. So yeah, it does happen if you have a general manager or an owner who knows how to work those transitions out. And not saying that Jerry Jones has always known what he was doing, but I think it is a very smart transition to get away from some of the guys that are aging, and Micah Parsons, who is shown to be a little more injury prone than is needed for the contract that he has. And you know what? We're gonna give, because of how George Pickens has played, we realize with these two receivers, we could be dynamic. We could be scoring a ton of points, and that is extremely sexy right now, on top of the fact that we've seen now through the Bengals franchise and through other, some of these other teams, that the Rams, that have multiple really good receivers. We can win some playoff games this way, instead of relying heavily on defense to carry us the whole way.
Yeah. That's funny you said Bengals, because it's like we see a second one there.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Says football is about chemistry. Super teams do not win Super Bowls. How many first-round picks were on the Bengals when they lost the Super Bowl? Not as many as you would think.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and a bad offensive line.
T. Higgins.
He's a second-round pick, I think. So,
is he?
Yeah, I don't think he was a first-round pick.
Is T. Higgins? I thought he was a first-round pick.
If he was, I could be wrong. I probably am. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, you're talking about a Bengals team who got to the Super Bowl without an offensive line, didn't care about the defensive line.
First pick in the second round.
Yeah. Didn't care about defense. The scouting department was the most barren department in the NFL. It's not even, that's not hyperbole. That's real. They have no scouting department. They just don't care, and they still made it on the back of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
Yep, Trey Hendrickson carrying them.
There you go.
Yep.
Who else?
Right, there was nobody else. It's just those four players, realistically.
Yeah, like you're talking about Jermaine Pratt's or whatever the case may be. Maybe Geno Stone was there, maybe. But, I mean, these are not the movers. These are the guys that the Bills have. But, see, the thing that puts them over the top is that Trey Hendrickson, is that tandem for your quarterback.
Exactly. Because they do have the Terrell Bernards of the world. They do have the Cole Bishops of the world. They do have the Greg Rousseaus of the world on their team. But what they, like you said, what they have that we don't have is the T. Higgins, is the Jamar Chase, we have the Joe Burrow, but we don't have the other guys that they put with Joe Burrow to keep him playing at an elite level. So it's just, it gets really weird looking at people's gushing over the starters that we have here, because it almost comes off as you don't really watch the entire league and pay attention to the caliber of players on some of these Super Bowl teams. And when you see how the Eagles build their team, or you see how the Rams build their team, either through free agency like they did when they won the Super Bowl 3 years ago, or through the draft like they've been doing the last 3 years and put themselves in a position to almost get to one last year, being in the NFC Championship game, you look at that performance as far as the accumulation of talent, and it's like, what are the Bills thinking when they get these players? Well, they got to be thinking, we don't really have to do much better than we've been doing. The fans love these players. The players love to play for the team. The players love each other. We're making a crap ton of money. Josh Allen carries us to wins anyway. So do we really have to work that hard and go all out and risk? Because, again, this is another reason why you draft high floor players. There's less risk involved. Why would you want to risk drafting 17 Maxwell Hairstons over the last 8 years and half of them not working out, as opposed to drafting all the players that we've drafted that have high floors and then being pretty decent, some of them being slightly above average, and that being the thing that matters here the most?
All right, we got a call.
Yep.
Okay. I don't want to.
We're going to be quick about it.
I don't want to mess it up.
Bodega can't just change the calling culture of the whole show. Oh, what happened? Device is not connected. Did he drop out?
The mic isn't connected. Where is he calling from? It said something about that. Wait, hello?
Okay, hold on. Daquan, you here?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Right.
Yes, sir. How you doing, bro? Oh
no.
This might be a connection.
Yeah, it said something about it.
Might be a connection deal there. You back?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? All right. Yeah, I was trying to turn on the camera.
Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, not a problem. I hate to be in cloak. All right. First of all, good afternoon. How are you doing? Hope all is well. I know that, Keys, you were celebrating some family stuff. How did that go?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Okay, I did remember. Okay. All right. Having said now, to speak up for my team, it appears to me it doesn't matter who's on the team. That's why I made that comment about the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know how many first-round picks they had, but they did go to the Super Bowl and lose.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's more of a chemistry thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think my brothers are forgetting that every year we're usually one play away from going to the big game. It's just a chemistry thing. It doesn't matter who's on the team. But I'm thinking this. When my Bills can show they can string together maybe like 5-6 wins in a row, show some type of consistency, because I don't think we ever really do that. I know we've never won 10 in a row. That's for sure. It's about consistency. What are you doing during the year versus what you're doing in the playoffs? If you're really not doing anything during the year, you're not going to do anything in the playoffs. And as far as players are concerned, yes, I am wholly against just cutting players when they're good to get other players. I mean, what would happen to Michael Jordan if they got rid of Pippen? That's the way I look at it. Am I looking at it wrong?
No.
Without Steve Kerr, You know what I'm saying? Because he was really good. What would happen? We don't want to win a Super Bowl. We want to win as many as we can. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not looking for a promotion. I'm looking for as many promotions as possible in my lifetime. Am I wrong for thinking this, gentlemen?
No, I think a lot of what you're saying I agree with, because we may have just said it differently. A lot of what you're saying with chemistry wise, that's why when people mention all these big names, I'm like, no, because of what you said, chemistry. I don't need the name. I need somebody that's going to fit into the scheme of which we're trying to build. And if you watch me pretty much the whole time we've done this show, I've always said, what's the philosophy? What is our philosophy? What are we? How do we play? And it seems like every year we're chasing somebody. We're chasing the Chiefs at one point in time. And when you pick somebody, it's like, well, how do they really fit? How does that work? Because when you bring in Joe Brady, you want continuity. And somebody mentioned in the comments a long time ago, they said, don't you notice, I think it was Tommy, don't you notice a difference in the people they're bringing in now? On defense, yeah, because why? There's a brand new defensive coordinator.
Right.
Offense ain't did nothing. Offense looks exactly the same as it did when we were screaming for a new offense. So do I put that on Brandon Beane? Do I say he changed his culture? Because I remember, and Daquan, don't go anywhere. I remember
I'm not going anywhere.
when we had the coaches owners meeting, whatever the case may be, somebody asked a question, and Joe Brady said, I told Brandon Beane, I'm not worried about players past. I told him, don't worry about that.
Yep, I remember that part.
So if you told him I'm not worried about it, that means he's still worried about it. Which means that wasn't just McDermott, that was Buffalo.
Yep.
Joe Brady said, buck that. I want players. To your point, Daquan, I want players now. If I can work with them, I don't care what they did before. Bring them to me. I'm willing to take the chance. And to your point about letting players go when they're good, how good is Tylen Grable? Do we know? I mean, how is he good? Can he be the next left tackle? At what cost? We're restructuring Dion Dawkins. What could we get for Dion Dawkins to a team that needs a left tackle? Could we get a 3rd or 4th round pick we could package to move into the 2nd this year? Could we get, some kind of relief in money somewhere if we trade him? Now, I'm not saying I told you I want to extend him, but just do an exercise. Could we get something for him that we could package to make ourselves the next iteration of what we want to be? That's kind of where I'm with the thought of Dion Dawkins.
I got to be honest. I disagree. The basketball analogy, I think the reason I went to the Cowboys is in football, it's very different to trade away a player in his prime because there's still 10 other players on the team that can make the scheme work. Right. And what you're doing from there is you're introducing, one additional new cog to the machine. Right. That adding one additional cog to the machine only changes the machine if that cog is either really good or really bad. But if the cog you introduce in football terms is average, then you should be able to hit the ground running just fine, because most of the time, even if it's a younger player with a high floor, everybody else can coach them up on the field as needed, right? Coaches usually, have a few guys they can, hey, listen, just help him out when he's out there. I got you, coach. You know what I'm saying? So to that, I would say the Pippen loss would be much more significant than losing Micah Parsons or Dion Dawkins, right? The other part of this too is, for as much as we've been crying about getting our offensive line to the Lions level, or some of these other two, like the Bears just invested heavily in their offensive line. They've got a great offensive line coming into this season. The Packers had a really good line before they just let all their guys go this past offseason or this offseason that we're in. So my point to that is, we haven't really seen the Bills invest as heavily as some of these other teams to build a super line. You know what I'm saying? And I think the mindset behind that has always been, well, Josh will be able to break out anyway. We don't really need to put 5 all pro linemen in front of him and spend all that money there, because at the end of the day, is the guy that breaks through going to be able to get Josh down? The answer is probably not. So we don't need to if you look at a lot of the way that they've constructed the team, they've been very strategic about where they feel they need to spend money and where they don't need to spend money. It's never been this whole entire time. It's never been what they want to do or what they want to see. It comes down to the business perspective. What do we need to do in order to help this team win games? And there's going to be some people that say, well, yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. I get that, but when you're looking at what really helps your best players be even better, I don't think we can say that the Bills have done everything they can possibly do to make Josh Allen's job as easy as it can possibly be.
There's no way you can say that. There's no way you can say
right. That. So that's kind of why I'm at this point of disagreeing, because Dion Dawkins was your best effort aside from Osiris Torrance, who you drafted, and Spencer Brown, who you drafted. You drafted all those guys, really, but it took Spencer Brown, 3 years to really come on as the guy at right tackle. Osiris Torrance, I would say it took him half a season, maybe a full season to come on as your as a widely regarded good pick at offensive guard. And I don't think really anybody thought that McGovern would be, as good as he was, or David Edwards be, to be as good as they were when they both came in. But again, when you get to play around Josh, you usually look a little bit better. And now both of those guys got paid off of that. So, the whole thing of getting rid of Dion Dawkins, if offensive linemen get a boost in performance and salary because of Josh Allen, I think we can safely say that letting Dion Dawkins go and putting Tylen Grable in there, or Chase Lunt, or whoever we have in the waiting, they would get a bump too. Yeah. And it wouldn't be a complete loss.
Yeah, Tommy disagrees. 2020 and 2021, Beane gave Josh many weapons. How many of them are still here?
What weapons?
Stephon Diggs in 2020 sold. You're right. After that, how many are still here? What is the word I've been saying? More.
Thank you.
More.
Because you had Cole Beasley.
More.
You had Cole Beasley. Okay, cool. John Brown, you let him go.
Right. You got Emmanuel Sanders.
What did you do after that? Emmanuel Sanders wasn't enough. He wasn't.
More.
Exactly. Gabe Davis obviously wasn't enough.
And I find it interesting, and I'm not going to pick on it. I don't know if it was Leonard or Tommy or whoever said it, but they're mentioning Dawson Knox is a good pick that people want to get rid of now.
Before we get to that, Daquan, did we answer your question?
You most certainly did.
Anything else
you have
got there, brother?
Anything else for us, bro?
Yeah, just one more thing. I'm gonna let you go
Sure.
on what you got to do.
No, do you think this is your show now?
We are here for you, bro.
I don't know about all that, but anyway, gentlemen, I may be on your podcast, but I'm still clapping with two hands here.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
All right. Having said that, in the chat they were talking about injuries. It's with Dalton Kincaid, and is it Beane's fault? Personally, I want to get your opinion. I feel it is Beane's fault. Dalton Kincaid had injuries prior to coming into the NFL, and he took the chance. And I would never do it. To me, it's like going to an operating table with somebody with shaky hands. You understand what I'm saying? This man has a problem or a drinking problem. I mean, why would you do it?
Yep.
That's all I wanted to say. Listen, I'm going to listen to you off the air. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think that the Kincaid pick is loaded because I'm good with them taking the swing, because what if he didn't get hurt? But moving up for somebody who has injury concerns, that's kind of alarming. It's a mixed bag, because on one hand, he fulfilled a need. It was kind of a backhanded way of giving us what we wanted. We need pass catchers. We didn't say wide receiver. We need pass catcher. We gave you a pass catcher. Mm-hmm. What are you bitching about? But we wanted wide receivers. And that's the difference in this whole thing. And then Sinke, he is hilarious to me. Sinke, like in the Discord here, like earlier somebody said something about somebody said about Sexy Dexy. And he was like, I was just waiting. I'm like, Sinke, there he is. Wash. Yep, there's Sinke. There he is.
You was like, you made me very proud.
Like, Nate's there like, can't afford it, too much money. I'm like, I'm about to tear up. I'm listening up over here. You guys are you're regurgitating my rhetoric. That's great.
I wanted to get back to your point. You saw somebody talking about Dawson Knox as a good draft pick in the comments here. That instantly made me think this thought, which is, we're not saying Brandon Beane doesn't pick good players, right? But good can't be good enough, right? I think everybody would agree that Brandon Beane has picked some good players, but how many great to amazing players has he drafted? Yeah. I think the answer to that is 2
cornerstones. Yeah, that's what we're looking. Just cornerstones. You know, you got nothing on defense. You got a running back and a quarterback. And I mean, I will lobby for my man Shakir until he proves that he can't do more. I think he can do a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
But I will lobby for him until he proves that he can't. But defense, I'm still looking for. I mean, we're talking about. I know Tommy. I know Miami University, but Rousseau is just not a cornerstone.
Yeah.
You know, bringing in Bradley Chubb. That's a McDermott kind of defensive end. The same kind of compression guy.
If you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, the Bills have told you what they really think about Greg Rousseau. When you get to Greg Rousseau's contract, let me just pull this up again. Because remember, next, if I'm not mistaken, next season in 2027, is it next season or the season after? That's pre-June 1. Yeah. No, it's not. I'm sorry. In 2028. So post June 1 cut.
And why you looking it up? I mean, if we're talking about Kincaid, even Daquan, you know, and this is because you thought it was a bad pick as well. But if you look at that draft, you could have got Michael Mayer, the tight end that went to Vegas. You could have got Sam Laporta that went to Detroit after Kincaid. So if Kincaid was taken, I think Laporta would have been a nice little consolation prize. You know, you had Knox, who was a blocker / traditional tight end. Laporta's a blocker / traditional tight end. If you were running a 12 set, they would have been interchangeable.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Go ahead.
So if you look at Rousseau's contract, he has no guaranteed money in 28 and 29. The last 2 years of his contract before he hits his void year in 2030. Now, to me, that says a lot because he's realistically, he's only getting paid extremely well this season and next season, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
His cap number for 2028 is 24 million, but he has no guaranteed salary at all, right? If you wanted to cut him pre-June 1, you free up $17 million and you take on a dead cap hit of 7. Like they don't structure these contracts like this for no reason. Right. They know the value of these players.
These are smart contracts.
Right.
Yeah, so, I don't want these contracts.
Exactly.
I don't want these contracts.
Because, again, as much as we say, oh, well, that's just smart. He's getting a guy like Greg Rousseau, and we're not. No, but these contracts also say something about the caliber of player.
It's a placeholder contract.
Right. Look at the contract that DJ Moore got, and then look at the contract that Greg Rousseau got. And DJ Moore got that contract, 2 years ago?
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. So at the age that roughly the age that Greg Rousseau is now, 26, 27 years old is when DJ Moore got that contract. But DJ Moore's contract is you getting paid every year. Every year you getting paid every year. Right? The Bills were the ones that restructured his contract, added the guaranteed money this year and next year, and then in 2028, I think they can get out of it with no issues. Well, they did the same exact thing in the Greg Rousseau. If Greg Rousseau is really that cornerstone player, why doesn't his contract look like Dion Dawkins' contract?
Right.
Dion Dawkins' contract, you can't get out of his contract at all until next year, maybe. And even then, it's got to be post-June.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, these are like almost like prove it deals.
Yes.
You know, you can make a lot of money, but we don't have to pay you a lot of money. Who is it? Albert, no, I don't know if you're talking about us, but no, we're not saying you have a bad old line. I won't go as far and get tarred and feathered and say that Josh he's a turnover machine still. You didn't hear that from me. I'm not going to die for that.
But why do people assume if we don't like a guy, he's bad?
I don't even say I don't like him. I mean, I think he's fine, but I'm ready to get ready to the succession plan.
That's what I think. That's where the mix-up is.
Yeah.
If we're saying that Brandon Beane can go because what he's doing is not good enough, people assume that we're saying he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Brandon Beane sucks. What I'm saying is it's not good enough. Like, why can't both things be true?
Yeah, I mean, I can say I want more, and I can say, there's such a thing as being a silent success.
Yes.
And getting a statue erected for you right. in front of a stadium that just got built.
Right.
Brandon Beane is not getting a statue.
No.
Not right now.
Not even for drafting Josh Allen.
Not for that. Because that was 9 years ago. Yep. I want more. Bill Polian is still better than Brandon Beane. Brandon Beane has, he's got stuff to do before he can surpass that. And I have stuff we really want to go down there. But no, and the thing is why, and the time he said
where's that?
I don't remember. I was kind of seeing it in the chat. He said something about Knox isn't a bad tight end. I like Knox. I like Knox, but there's some people, I won't name names, that want to get rid of him. I won't name any names, but there's some people near and dear to our hearts.
I ain't pointing no elbows, but
that want to get rid of Dawson Knox. Said he is not worth the money, not worth this, not worth that. But
I have no idea where you heard that, bro. I have no idea.
I'm one of the ones that love Dawson Knox. So, but my point is, when we're fitting a narrative that says that Dawson Knox is not a bad tight end, I know that, but I've heard people that know people say that he isn't, and I've heard people that know people not push back on it. If you believe, because if you don't think he's a good tight end, that's fine. But I think he's a good tight end. I think he's been solid. He's been reliable. He had 9 touchdowns in his contract year, and then they drafted somebody and said, we got the new guy. We pay you, but we get the new guy. This is what they do. You came off. We gave you money just to sit you. What did he do wrong to get sat? We wanted to give us a pass catcher.
Right.
Give us a wide receiver because there's nothing there.
You know what's funny about that too is you say you drafted Kincaid because you needed another pass catcher. The only thing that Dawson Knox wasn't that Dalton Kincaid is an elite route runner. That's it. Other than that, Dawson Knox is a better tight end in every other fashion. He's faster. He's more athletic. He's stronger. He's a better blocker. I mean, maybe Kincaid catches better. Okay, fine. But that's all Kincaid has. He's got better hands, better route runner. Other than that, like Dawson Knox is the much more athletic tight end. He's the guy that you can play all 3 downs.
How many times have you watched? I'm sorry. How many times have you watched the game? You said, "Oh man, look at Kincaid. Oh, that's Knox."
Right.
How many times? Like, yo, that was a hell of a catch by Kingston. That's Dalton. That's Dawson Knox.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's 88, not 86.
Yep.
Wow.
And again, to be clear, my gripe about Dawson Knox, because that was me saying he's not worth the money, isn't because of his talent level. It's because they don't freaking use him. This is a guy that was on a trajectory to be the next Travis Kelce if they just continued to feed the kid. And we just decided, somebody in the building decided, no, we don't want him to get that big. But you keep him. Why? Because it's Josh Allen's best friend. That's the reason you keep him? Not because of production, not because of lack of production, not because of anything else, but he's Josh's best friend. You give him the contract you give him and then decide he's only good for 2 targets a game.
Crazy, ain't it?
That's the part that drove me nuts. But again,
crazy, ain't it?
I can't. That's why when you get to the Dalton Kincaid pick, in my mind, it's like, the only reason that makes sense is because you're going into 12 formation, because you want to run the ball more, because Sean McDermott wants to protect his defense. It's the only reason that makes sense. But even in that instance, you get a purely pass catching tight end to run a 12 formation. No, that's not what you do.
Right. That's
not how the Patriots were dominating people back in the 2010s with Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. That's not how it was done. You're trying to recapture old stuff with new age stuff that doesn't fit the scheme that you're trying to run. You try to put a tight end in there to play a position where he has to block majority of the time and can't do it. On top of the fact that he was injury prone. What Dawson Knox has toughed out more games than I can count. He's caused more injuries than I can count, right. Putting people's face in the dirt.
Yep.
If I was going to covet a guy at tight end for this team, it would be Dawson Knox and not Dalton Kincaid.
As Drake Kirkpatrick.
Right. Which, again, I don't know if people remember the episode that we did maybe like 7 or 8 episodes ago where I talked about how the tight end position might die in this new offense. Mm-hmm. But I was all for, like, trade Kincaid. Yeah, you're going to pick up his 5th-year option, fine, but trade him because injuries and how he's probably going to be used in this new offense is probably not going to fit the money that he's going to get if you extend him and or find a way to keep him or restructure or whatever you're going to do. It's not worth it, right? The point here is to try and get as much value as we can at every single position for the money we're spending. I think Laura was the one in the chat that I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Tommy, do it again.
I'm sorry. I'm yelling. It's always Tommy. But I think that was the reason why I think Laura was saying in the chat that, like, yo, like, I don't have an issue with the draft picks so much as the free agent signings, because you're loading up on these guys that naturally cost more so that you can protect yourself against drafting for need in the draft where players are much more lower cost. And if you miss, you miss. At the end of the day, it didn't cost you much to get rid of a $600,000 contract. But a big miss in free agency, like the $11 million you got to pay Josh Palmer for missing this year, boy, that cost you a whole lot, doesn't it? It costs you so much more to miss on free agency than in the draft. So just take the chance.
That's what it's about. It's a crapshoot.
Right. But Brandon Beane don't want to do that. He's trying to keep his job safe. Mm-hmm. That's all it's ever been about for Sean McDermott and for Brandon Beane. And he's doing the same thing again this season. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, that's I was looking it up, at the time they drafted Dalton Kincaid, which was the guy I really liked. I'm full disclosure, I liked him. But we went at pass catchers. Listen to our wide receiver room as of June 1st, which is the first available month of the depth chart. In the year Dalton Kincaid got drafted, we had Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs were our starters. You know who our slot starter was? Right now is Deontay Hardy. He was penciled in as our slot starter. You know who's behind Gabe Davis? Justin Shorter. You know who's behind him? Isaiah Coulter. You know who's behind him? Braden Johnson. Tyrell Savers was 5th on the left side. On the right side, you had Stephon
really
Diggs.
Disrespecting him.
Trent Sherfield. Desmond Patton. Anybody remember him? Brian Thompson. Jalen Wayne. Then we had Khalil Shakir, who he still wasn't really much in 23. But we had Deontay Hardy, Khalil Shakir, and Keyshawn Johnson. So you upgrade the guy you just gave the contract to when you could upgrade any of these 7 names. 7 of the 9 names I just read off to you.
Yep. And
we're supposed to say, where's the wide receiver? Jeremy White? I'm sorry, Jerry and Joe.
Jerry and Joe.
I mean, this not about Beane sucks. Like you said, it's not about Beane can't draft. It's about Beane drafting, and you're like, well, why are you not seeing the field? They might be good, but McDermott, we're going to keep blaming McDermott. The wicked witch is gone now. Show me something different.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Tommy, I disagree big time. This has actually been a good off season so far. Have you said this has been a bad off season so far? Did anybody hear me say this has been a terrible off season so far? Again, let me make this as clear as I can possibly make it. We're not saying Brandon Beane sucks at his job. Right. We're not saying he drafts bad players. We're just saying they're not good enough.
Yeah.
They're not good enough to get us to a Super Bowl and win one.
And before you guys say why have we gotten to that, there's a reason. There's a big reason we're 17.
You know what? Let's.
I said that. Me.
Yeah.
You know how hard it was for me to say that? One person. Now I got to go home and wash my mouth over. So I got to take a nap because I got to tell the truth. And I'm sick and tired of people saying, as long as we got Josh, we got more. More. Where's the surplus? People say they want to come play in Buffalo, right? People say we got a new defensive coordinator who I believe in. Who people are kind of cold. I don't know. How you not know?
Mm-hmm.
How is it when this guy comes in with a bevy of things that beat us last year? Yeah, it was Vance Joseph. He was at Wisconsin. He produced guys that are in the league right now that we wanted. But now we don't know. The offseason was predicated on the defense. Everything we did, worth salt, was defense. Why was that? We're changing schemes. By nature of that, you have to.
Yeah.
And people are still saying, I don't know if we're going to make a smooth transition. Even Anthony Prohaska said what I've been telling you guys. It's not necessarily going to be a 3-4. Jim Leonard said, whatever we can do is what we're going to do. If I got to run a 4-3, I'm running it. If I got to run a 2-4-5, we're running it. I don't care. I don't know yet. So for us to say it's not enough, it's too much, we did well, we don't know until we see the field. We often win the offseason. How many times in the drought did we win the offseason? I don't care about the grading of the offseason. I care about the grading of the team in the playoffs next year. Let's see how this offseason directly correlates to the playoffs. Then we'll have a conversation. Somebody earlier said when Palmer, DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, all those guys go off for career years, everybody here's going to be talking. I will be the first to tell you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because outside of Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman, I don't really have a lot of faith in the wide receivers we have. Yep. DJ Moore, Joshua Palmer. Prove it to me that you're better. And you notice that the list is short because we don't have a lot of wide receivers.
Right.
Well, Cat, if you're around for a while, I did a mock draft for you. So we'll talk about that after we probably talk about what the show was supposed to be about.
Really quick, Daquan said you certainly have not given a ringing endorsement. I get that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I hate all the moves, though. I think what Keys and I were looking for, and correct me if I'm wrong. What I think it comes down to is we have gotten tired of seeing teams do it in 3 years. We've gotten tired of seeing bad teams come back from being terrible for 10 years and make it to a Super Bowl in the first year of having a new head coach, Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of turnaround, for it to happen as quick as it does for other teams, and the Bills have just been hammering at the door, kicking at the door for as long as they have, and it hasn't happened. It's like, what are we missing? It can't be about luck. It can't be. I've already shown everybody from Friday's episode, 14 teams have controlled the Super Bowl since the inception of the Super Bowl. Right? 14 teams have won multiple Super Bowls after winning one. Only 3 teams in that entire span have won one and not won another one. That's the Jets, the Bears, and the Saints. Those are the only 3 teams in the history of the Super Bowl era. So it's like, okay, everybody else around us is figuring it out. Why can't we?
That's the frustrating part.
Right. That's all this is just frustration.
Because it's just like with Sean McDermott, was he a bad coach? No. But we didn't have the faith that he could get us over the hump. We didn't have the faith that he had another gear to him.
Yep.
And Brandon Beane up until the Kincaid year, I'll say. I was like, all right, Brandon Beane, let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. And then you don't deliver on some of the most glaring needs. You just signed Josh Allen, but you lost his number 1 receiver. Now, he doesn't want a number 1 receiver, but tough nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
You became Josh Allen when you had somebody you could rely on. I didn't say Stephon Diggs, man, but when anybody has somebody they can rely on. The funny story, I told you before I left home, I went to the gym earlier today, right? And you know what a pause rep is, right? When I was benching.
Okay.
So pause rep, basically you lift it off and you stop on your chest, you count 3, 5, whatever the case may be. So I put 2, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter. I put weight on the bar and I did my pause, and I'm by myself, I have no spotter. As soon as I did it, this old guy comes running over and he's like trying his hardest to pull the bar off my chest. I'm like, I got it. He's like, well, he can't get the bar off my chest. He's calling for help. I'm like, I got it. Trust me. So now I'm like fighting with him. I'm in the middle of my workout trying to let him know I'm not going to die right here. Right. This is part of my workout.
Right.
But the point is, when I know I got it, I don't need you to help me. But when you get rid of the guy that I had, Stephon Diggs in this case, you didn't replace him with anything. I don't care about Stephon Diggs. The reason why I hold on to Stephon Diggs is because nobody here can tell me that we've had a Stephon Diggs since Stephon Diggs has left. We're still looking for it in the bargain bin. Joshua Palmer, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman. We're still looking for that replaceable piece. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, Josh Allen didn't like that diva attitude. Every number one receiver is not a diva. Most of them are some sort of diva, but you go get yourself a young boy. You should sell somebody that has the tools, somebody has the talent, but they haven't cut their teeth in the league yet. Because those are the guys that are not going to say too much. I want the ball here. Can I work out with you? Can I do this, that, and third? But this is how I like, where I came from. This is what we did. You don't go get a guy that's already been dude, whether you want to say Thielen, whether you want to say Dig, it doesn't matter. You don't go get the guy that's already had to catch, helmet in the air, and now he's had 1,000-yard seasons already. You don't go get that guy and think he's going to play nice when you know his reputation. So you don't mitigate that by just saying we don't need that anymore. We do need that because you're not getting us a bevy of 1Bs. Even if you got us 2 1Bs, get us a 1B and a 2. Get us that. Yep. Shakir, a 1B and a 2. Let's rock. Yep. Now people are going to say DJ Moore is a bona fide one. I don't care. We haven't seen him on the field yet. On top of that, who's next on Palmer? Okay. I'm so excited about that.
Waiting for him to get that Josh Allen bump.
Right.
Hasn't happened yet.
So when it comes to Daquan, the reason why I have a hard time giving Beane credit is because of after he arrived, he was the executive of the year 2 years in a row, or 2020 and 2022. So 2022 was the year he got Von Miller. 2020 was the year he got Steph Diggs. Correlation, I think not. So and I mean it's a slippery slope, man. It's just tough.
Yeah.
And to Tommy's point, every GM does. They don't go rogue. Beane most certainly went rogue on McDermott those last 2 years.
Absolutely,
most certainly. McDermott didn't know what was hitting him. He thought he had talk. I don't know if I know you watch movies. Brandon Beane is Eddie King Jr. from Five Heartbeats. I know you know that reference. He was sitting in Big Red's office when Jimmy walked in, like, what's this about, Eddie? What's this about? He's like, that's what happened when McDermott walked in the office talking to, because if he thought he had pull still, going in the office saying, yo, I hate this roster. Oh, let's change it right away. He's like, kiss my ass. I'm not changing nothing. He's like, whoa. But in the last 7 years, you would have did it. They're like, no more. So that's when he come out and say, what happened to this guy? What happened to that guy? Because he's like, my roster is not my roster anymore.
Right.
And I know it. I see it. And he knew it that he's changing his whole, he's changing everything about him. I mean, no. And last season, maybe not 2024. Okay.
All
right. So yeah, going to your
right.
your thing.
So look, I just want to make this point about the importance of head coaching ability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because for as much as we banged on Sean McDermott's name for not being able to get it done with the talent that he did have, for better or worse, with the talent that he did have, he wasn't able to get it done. Cool. But we have to acknowledge that Sean McDermott also should have been fired earlier because of this reason. The level of coaches that he had in the AFC at that time was abysmal compared to what it is now. Abysmal compared to what it is now. Do you know the opponents for the Bills this season have an average win percentage of 528? Now, that doesn't sound so great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's because we are playing
down.
Huh?
You got teams bringing it way down.
Right. You have 1, 2, 3 teams with head coaches that don't have a win percentage right now because they're first year head coaches. That is the Dolphins head coach, the Ravens head coach, the Raiders head coach. I'm sorry, Dolphins. Yeah, Dolphins, Ravens, Raiders. And then you got the Jets head coach who has a 176% win percentage. Right? Which is as bad as it can get. He was 3-14. So you got those 4 teams pulling that average down. I'm going to read to you
76.
Right. I'm going to read the other averages to you of all these other teams that we have to face as far as our opponents for the season. Okay? Patriots 586, Chiefs 638, Chargers 755. Now these are the win percentages of the head coaches, not the team. Right? And I'll get to why I structured it this way in a second. Chargers 755, Lions 547, Broncos 630, Rams 617, Packers 654, Vikings 667, Texans 627, Bears 647. Only two of these teams have a win percentage of less than 600. 600 is high. 600 is high.
Oh, yes.
Like, I know we like to think, the closer you are to 1,000 is like that's high, but in the grand scheme of,
I mean, it is, but it's not realistic. Then you're 90%.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So for realism's sake, speaking from a realistic standpoint, anything above 600, like that's top tier. That's top tier coaching, right? And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those teams on our schedule this season. Okay? For relativity's sake, in the entire AFC this season, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 teams in the AFC with I'm sorry, that's 3 right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry. 5 teams in the entire AFC. 5 out of 16 teams are over 600 win percentage. Patriots are the only other team that are above 500. Every other team in the AFC right now is below 500 or has no win percentage to speak of. The Bengals have a 453 win percentage. That's because Burrow's been hurt most of his career. That's the only reason. They've made it to a Super Bowl. They don't really have anything to prove to anybody. They've shown they can get it done when everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Daquan, you're right. McDermott was like I think 624 or 642, something like that.
Won a lot of games.
He was the winningest probably percentage coach in Bills history.
Right. So my point in showing the win percentages of the coaches in the AFC now is there's more good head coaches with better winning percentages in the AFC now than there was when it was just the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs competing for AFC championships. So all that is to say, when you look at the opponents that we're going to face this season, and I just told you, eight of these teams are over 600 win percentage, and over 600 win percentage is really good in the NFL. This is going to be a tough schedule. It's the 8th toughest in the NFL right now, based on the win percentage. And again, let me remind you, the average win percentage for our opponents this season is 528, and that's with 4 teams really bringing us down.
Right.
So if you took the average of the other 12 teams, I'm sure the average would be much higher than 528. So prepare yourself for a reality check, because every game is going to be a battle. We'll have, our division is going to be easy. We have Jeff Hafley and Aaron Glenn to contend with. We'll probably get 2 wins out of both of those teams. The Patriots is going to be the only struggle. Right? So the Bills will likely have a really good chance to win their division. They'll likely either be a wild card team or they'll make the playoffs flat out because they won their division. But from a pure record standpoint, I really hope nobody is like banging the table saying confidently, we're going to get the number 1 seed. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Like, the AFC just got a lot harder with all these head coaches coming over here.
Yeah. I mean, I shameless plug. I really believe in Jim Leonard's defense. So I think if Jim Leonard does what he thinks he's going to do, I'm wholeheartedly saying that Drake May is going to be public enemy number one. I think Drake May is going to see ghosts when he plays against the Bills.
I hope so.
Yeah, I really do. I mean, that's how high I think of this defense. So when people say, I told you the defense going to be sick. I told you that. We got all these holes. No, I told you the defense going to be sick.
Yeah.
And that's wholeheartedly what I expect. And Roy, you were late to the party. You must have been taking an afternoon snooze. We already did a live draft on the show. We did a live
we could do another one Friday if you want.
We could do another one, and I did one earlier today. I'll read it to you.
Oh, you want to reveal it?
We can do it. Well, we can finish your point, but yeah, okay. No, Roy, they didn't tear my draft apart when I did it last time on the show. I think like one person because I forget who I took, but it was
so really quick, I just want to give you the AFC teams difficulty. I ranked all the teams in the AFC by their head coach's win percentage. Okay. This is going to kind of sound a little weird and a little wonky, but once you hear this hierarchy that we're about to go through, you'll start to realize how important the head coach position is and why you and I had the issues that we had with hiring a first-year head coach to contend with all these guys going into the playoffs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number one is the Jaguars. First-year head coach, but he went 14-3. His win percentage was 765 for the season. Right? I'm sorry, he went 13-4. But that's still a very high win percentage. And only 1 year, but it still counts. Next is the Chargers. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh has shown that he can do it with two teams in the NFL now, turning the 49ers right around like he did, and now turning the Chargers right around like he did, and basically taking that division from the Chiefs. Like week one, they just snatched it right from them, and the Chiefs weren't the same after that.
Mm-hmm.
So Chargers at number 2. Number 3 is the Chiefs. Number 4 is the Broncos. Number 5 is the Texans. Number 6 is number 6 is the Steelers because they got Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's win percentage for his career is 608. He is 174, 112, and 2 for his career. Okay. So him coming on as the Steelers head coach puts them at number 6. And then obviously number 7 is Mike Vrabel. He is 68-48 in his career for a win percentage of 586. Okay. Those are, and then I have the Colts at 8. Shane Steichen's career, he's 25-26. His career win percentage as a head coach is 490. But he's shown if he has competent quarterback play, he can be a very good head coach. Now, the reason I ranked these teams is because I also wanted to show the sort of the hierarchy of how these teams were thought about last season and how good these teams are thought to be coming into this season, minus the Steelers, because they got a bit of an overhaul to do. Okay. All of this is to show how important it is to get head coach right. When you get it right, it impacts the entire team and it changes the course of your franchise for years to come. Okay. Sean McDermott was not the worst thing to happen to Buffalo. The numbers will tell you he's the winningest, best coach in Bills history, right? What messed him up was too much of a focus on culture and too much of a focus on high floor players. If they had been able to, when I say they, Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane, if they had been able to set that aside just a little bit and get a guy in here like CJ Gardner-Johnson early and like draft CJ Gardner-Johnson. Now you got him at safety after, Hyde and Poyer aged out. You don't go through a 2-3 year span where you're depending on Taylor Rapp and DeMar Hamlin and all these other guys, Cam Lewis, to come in and do what they were doing in a system that depended heavily on safety play. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. When you look at this hierarchy, and basically everybody after the Colts is Bengals, and then from 10 on down, it's Titans, Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Ravens, Browns, Raiders. I just put all those teams down there at the bottom because they're first-year head coaches for all of them,
mm-hmm.
right? It doesn't necessarily mean those teams are bad, but just going to show, like, the skill level, the ability to win games by your head coach matters. If Joe Brady starts to show early on that he's having a hard time handling calling plays and game management situations, calling timeouts on time, a lot of the same stuff that we saw with Sean McDermott early on.
Right.
Like, if we got to go through all that again, throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't want it, because this team is supposed to be win now. You're trying to salvage the end of Josh Allen's career, basically, or the latter half. I don't want to say the end, like this year is it, but that's why you go and you invest in, the Ben Johnsons of the world, the Bobby Slowicks of the world, guys who showed, very recently that they could dominate the NFL on their side of the ball. Look at how let's pull up Ben Johnson's win percentage right now. How about that? As a head coach, because I'm gonna tell you right now, that choice as a head coach is going to continue to get better and better and better. So Ben Johnson's win percentage, he was 12-6 this season, a win percentage of 667. His first year, he's already over 600.
Happens fast.
Right?
Fast, yeah.
For everything that everybody was saying about Caleb Williams being a bust, he turned that right around in 1 year. 1 year.
And he identified fast who his bread and butter was. He said, "Oh, you and DJ, y'all beefing? Buffalo, what's happening with it?"
Right.
A second, you say? All right, send him over.
Bring it on.
And then my man was like, "We got him. We got him for you."
But yeah,
he's got to stay forever.
But yeah, so like that's why I looked at the Joe Brady hiring as what are you doing? Because Joe Brady was never what Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick or Clint Kubiak was on his side of the ball. He never was that in his entire career in the NFL. He's never that. He was always thought of as a smart guy.
Right.
Cool. Fine. But you saw what Liam Cohen did with Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. You saw it. Right? Brady didn't come in here and turn Josh Allen into a bigger monster than he already was. What he did is he came in and cleaned up the mess that Ken Dorsey made, which is realistically the mess that Sean McDermott made, but still. That's all he did, and he gets credit for that? Like, enough credit to get a head coaching job. No.
I mean, I'm curious, and we'll never know where he stood on the pecking order of the Vegas and other teams that interviewed him twice or whatever the case may be.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. There was an article that the Saints put out last year where they were like, it's a good thing that he didn't want to come here. Right? The Saints were looking at the same thing. They were looking at his career as an offensive coordinator, and they were saying, like, based on what he's done with the Bills, like, should we really be mad that he didn't want to come here? No. I mean, look at what Kellen Moore's done there in 1 year.
Right.
That offense had nobody, and they were competing with us. They almost beat us here.
Right.
Here.
Yes, that's the gotcha. That's the gotcha.
I just, again, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, and I'm not saying that Joe Brady sucks.
No.
Because I feel like the emotional connection that people form with anybody that gets hired here, it's like if you hear anything that doesn't sound like praise for the person or the player, all of a sudden you're a hater. You hate them. You think they're terrible. It's not what I'm saying. You can be a good employee, but still not be good enough to be considered for a promotion.
Yeah.
It's possible to just be an average person. It's possible to have a job in the NFL and just be average.
Yeah.
We see it on a regular basis.
And the funny thing about, someone said Josh, I think was it Daquan, maybe said Josh Allen won the MVP. I mean, he won MVP because he didn't win it in 2023.
What were people saying when he won an MVP? He won it. Why?
Because he didn't win in 2023.
Not even that.
Oh, okay.
Not even that. He won it because of who he did it with, who he was winning with.
Yeah.
They won 13 games with nobodies.
Yeah.
and I'm not saying nobody's. It's not me saying this.
Right.
Like everybody, when we were having this debate and we played the Ravens and we were having this debate about Lamar Jackson should have won it because of stats and this and that and the other thing, everybody on national media who was arguing for Josh was saying, but look at who he's doing it with, though.
Yeah, I was going to say the reason why I said 2023 was because that's the year that we had Dorsey for 10 games.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Josh Allen's best season.
Yeah.
So, it's like, okay, we could do the semantics thing, but I can't accredit Joe Brady with the reason why Josh Allen got the MVP when he should have won it per se the year before. And a lot of teams are like, well, he had better stats last year. We give it to Lamar. So this year we're going to give it to. So, I mean, he got MVP, but that actually could be a detriment to Joe Brady because his calling card is we got Josh Allen or I got him an MVP. Beane, I drafted him. Like, okay, but then what? What happened after that? Because we already knew Josh Allen. It wasn't like Dorsey came in and set the place on fire and Brady came in and rebuilt everything. And, now we have a quarterback who has confidence. We have this. He was already doing it. Mm-hmm. I mean, Josh Allen won, I think he won player of the month in AFC or whatever the case may be under Dorsey when he said that was boring. I didn't do anything.
Yep.
So it was already the blueprint under this guy that we fired. Now we got a guy that came in with the juice and nobody knows what the offense does. And Josh Allen's already on his way. So, I mean, it's just a slippery slope. Yeah. So that's why I said I wonder why or wonder where Joe Brady was on the pecking order when we hired him. Because, somebody asked, it's weird, I think it might have been Bodega, it's weird that I was actually in that corner. I was sitting right there when he did it. The passing, rushing touchdown to Cooper.
Yeah,
I was actually like literally right there. If you look up like 6 rows in that picture, it's not that high, but you can see me. I'm sitting there right in the end zone, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's not a knock on anybody. It was just like I said, the common thread here for me is more. I'm not going to laud somebody when they don't give me anything to laud yet. They can't.
Right.
Even if he would have found a way to get Max Crosby and traded for Justin Jefferson, I'd still be like, cool. But did LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh win the championship his first year? No. They lost. Super team. I need to see it on the field. It's cool as hell when you see it on paper. Oh, we got this. This is not fantasy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like Daquan said, chemistry, not fantasy. Just because you got all the names in the world, that's what I've always said. I think you said it best. You have all the names in the world. Doesn't mean jack unless they play together as one. I don't need all these names. I can have guys that nobody's heard of. Guys like, he was trash, or he was garbage, or he was here, but it fits what we need.
Yeah.
And what we need isn't because we don't know how to scheme something. See, Jim Leonard, people talk about how he wasn't a defensive coordinator. I was Vance Joseph. But what about Wisconsin? What about when he was perennially the best run defense team in the league? He was perennially one of the most attacking defenses at Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Who was getting guys drafted out of Wisconsin? Nobody.
Right.
Ron Dane? Who else came out of Wisconsin? I mean, but the thing is, it's a joke. But the fact remains, when you have a system like that and it carries over, you learn in the NFL kind of the same thing you did in college, and you learn to stack on top of it. Now you can bring it to Buffalo and show us what you got.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
It's not because Jim Leonard's come, we're saved because McDermott's going, Jim Leonard's not. No. It's not because Jim Leonard's going to be here one and done, he's a head coach. No, not saying that. But it's a new outlook. It's my side of the ball, finally. And, now we can get busy with this thing. And I see how this could work in the new 2026, 27 season, whatever, 26 season.
Yeah. To your point about having a bunch of names, because I'm sure I could find, probably 20 people in the chat that think I'm an elitist, and that's all I want is name players. No, I mean, I'll say this. At heart, I really truly wish that the Bills would have targeted Dawson Knox, 15 times a game. You know what I'm saying? To turn him into a superstar. Like, remember when we used to play Madden back in the day? What would I always do? I would take nobodies and do what? Run them through training camp every single season, and I would jack them up by like 7 points every off season, and it would be like a guy that was like, terrible awareness, terrible all this and that and the other thing, but he had like one trait. He was fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would take one trait, a guy on the defensive line is super strong. I'll build everything else. My mentality has always been, I want to create superstars here. I want to be a franchise where guys come as draft picks and turn into superstars because we recognize the talent, we capitalize on the talent, and we put that talent in a position to be exercised and have growth and expand and turn and really blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like Khalil Shakir needs to get 12 targets a game. Friggin' who else? Like Ed Oliver should be put on an island against people so that he can get 17 sacks in a season. Like all of this stuff can be manufactured. It can. If your focus is trying to accentuate the talent that you do draft.
Right.
The issue here though is you drafted high floor guys and you put them into a system that which is Sean McDermott's defensive scheme, which is in itself a high floor system because it's bend but don't break. It's designed to not look terrible, right? You're not gonna look amazing. You might look amazing here and there when you beat the Dolphins by 20 in Miami. You know what I mean? Or 28, I think it was. We'd be like 48-20 or something like that. Like you'll get some of those games when you really get a team figured out. You'll come back against the Patriots like we did last season in New England and beat them in their house. Like you'll have moments like that, but that won't be the consistency of your defense.
Right.
And that's kind of what I'm talking about. The players have been the equivalent of a bend but don't break defense. You got a bunch of guys that, they'll make a play here and there. Christian Benford will get an interception thrown to him here and there. But is Christian Benford the equivalent of the Ravens 2000 defense? Hell no.
And that's why I'm excited about Max, what you just said, because I think Max Harrison's going to give up a play, but there's going to be that time where he hits that back pedal and reads it and goes at 4.28 speed and it's out of here.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Boomer bust is where we're at. I don't care about being safe. Because when you're too safe, you miss out on a big hit. And I keep saying somebody in the chat because it's going so fast, I don't want to miss the moment. But right. Somebody in the chat said if the Bills missed the playoff once, I think it was Tory. Bills missed the playoffs one time in Buffalo, the Bills Mafia would fall apart. True, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm okay with that. If you think about, I'm going to go back to stocks again. You think about, you're in a downtrend and you hit an engulfing candle, which is signaling of an uptrend. You're gonna decline, and you get that one piece, that one indicator. And to your point, I'm gonna nurture this guy because he's gonna be the next one. He's the next thing, whatever it is. Max Harrison, engulfing candle. Cole Bishop, engulfing candle. Now those are the guys keeping your cornerstone. Are they the best at what they do? No, but what I'm saying is they have those traits that we've seen that separate them from everybody else. Not IQ. I don't want to hear about IQ. I don't want no dummy. But when you're talking about a guy who you said gets beat all the time, but there's a reason why he got drafted in the first round and why he was a first round pick, 4.28 speed, 6 feet. And he got beat, but he got back. See, people are like, I don't want that. You can't have a Christian Benford who's a reliable guy all the time. What we got? Uh-oh. I don't know what I said, but I said a lot. Anyway. But no, it's you can't have reliable all the time. You can have one or two pieces, but those can't be your star players. Yeah, your star players got to be the playmakers, and that's what Max Harrison could be. That's what I think Cole Bishop will be, and I'm waiting for a defensive line player that will do that. A lot of, like you said, high ceiling, high floor guys who are like, all right, they're not going to get beat. Greg Rousseau, perfect. Is he worth 17? Sure, if you want to pay 17 mil for a run stuffer, that's going to get you 8, and I'm fine with that. I'm good with it. But some people aren't because they're like, well, where are my sacks at? He's not designed to do that. I could have told you that I did tell you that when they drafted him.
Yep. I think the Chris Brazils of the world, the Ted Hursts of the world, like these should be players that we're not afraid to get here for the reason that you stated. Because if the mindset is to find these guys, give them, the coaching that they need to develop into a superstar, then you go and you take the risk on those players. You know what I'm saying? Because both of these guys are going to be day 2 picks. You know what I'm saying? And you take a chance on those guys, but if it works out, you've got what, two of the biggest, fastest, best receivers in the draft at that point. Like there's only so many JSNs that are gonna pop like JSN popped. Like Cooper Kupp wasn't dominant every season. He was good in the season he won the Triple Crown, and he was good in his third year. Every other year after that, it was 800 or 900 yards. Right. Go look at his stats. So as much as we applaud the Cooper Kupps of the world that are these, route technicians and stuff like that, it still is the AJ Browns of the world, the Jamar Chases of the world, the Justin Jeffersons of the world, these super athletic guys that can be physical and have speed to break away from guys, right? And you've just got to be willing to coach these guys and get them onto a platform that puts them in the best possible position to become everything that they could be. But if you don't see that, if you're not willing to take the risk, if you're not, and you don't have to be a gambler either. Right. Like you just have to be willing to invest in a guy. It's the same as like you said, the stock market. Like do your research so that when you do make the investment, the likelihood of ROI is high. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the likelihood of high ROI is high. you know what I'm saying? But you shouldn't at all be deterred because a guy, like they're saying about Chris Brazil, he can't stop. You can coach that. You can coach he still has good hands. Ted Hurst, his hands can get better. Right? He already has the agility, the speed, the body control for the size. Yeah, his hands may not be great. Yeah, his route running may not be the best. You can develop that. Don't be afraid to take those guys. Yeah. I hope that we get both of them. I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, I Nady, I just don't like Denzel Boston enough. I don't. I really don't. I don't either. If you had a lot of fast guys, a lot of shifty guys, sure. But when we're trying to get faster, shiftier, and better releases, he's not the guy for you. He's a possession guy. Steve said something that had me laughing when you were talking. I have to find it now because here it is. He said Fox needs to be in a senior citizens center doing puzzles. McCarthy, Tomlin both won a Super Bowl like over 10 years ago with one Hall of Fame quarterback. Keep your wisdom and loser fumes away from still trying to steer McDermott smell. Loser fumes. Dang. Yo, Stevie having some great quotes though. I just pictured Jim Fox in a thing doing or John Fox in the thing doing puzzles. Sit with a napkin blanket across his lap. He said loser fumes. That's crazy. So let's see. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. Finger. That's insane. No, okay. So for our mock draft today, you guys can flame away. I really don't care because this is just me having fun. I was curious. I was watching Steve Smith talk as he usually does in his monotonous tone as he's really thinking about how not to curse or whatever's going through his brain. And I said, you know what? Today, what did he say about KC Concepcion? Yes, we know that one. So I said, let me do a mock. What can I do to get KC Concepcion? How far back can I trade to get him? Okay. So what I did was I traded 34 with the Cardinals, and I got their 34th pick. And then what I did there is I said, oh, we got two more guys. I can see if I can get back a little further. So I traded another time with the Raiders to get to 36. And that's where I took Concepcion. Well, what I got with that the trade was a fourth next year, a fourth this year, and obviously their second this year. If I wanted to, I could have packaged it and moved up and did something different, but I just decided, let me let it ride. So first and foremost, I'll tell you who I did take. 36, I took wide receiver Concepcion. 91, I took Genesis Smith, a safety out of Arizona, who can actually be that star once you see if you have offered Geno Stone's on a 1-year contract. And we would like to have CJ over there next to Cole Bishop, making Bishop with the grills just like Josh Allen. Give him swag.
Then the mainstay I got in this draft in the 4th round, 104, was Dante Corleone, defensive nose tackle, which obviously that's a guy I have to keep getting. I got Bo Stevens at guard at 117. Wide receiver Eric McAllister at 126 out of TCU. Doubled down in round 5 and got Caleb Ellerms-Orr, linebacker. Then I went and took a flyer in the 5th round with Julian Neal. Round 6, I took the center, Pat Coogan. He can compete with Corbett, SVPG, and also, who am I missing? Alec Anderson. And lastly, I got the shifty, the speedy linebacker out of LSU, Harold Perkins at 220. Now, who are these guys you're saying? I view Concepcion as the rat guy. He'll be the separator. He'll be the antithesis of Joshua Palmer and Keon Coleman's and those kind of players, and he'll be the one that actually moves with the ball. Now, I know we're talking about drops. I get it. But like you said,
you can
high floor, you can get on that jugs machine.
Yep.
And if you look at who the quarterback was, a lot of his balls were high and outside of his body frame. A lot of stuff he had to jump up and get. A lot of stuff he had to leave his body open for. Just a bad quarterback. Immediately, I think he'd be a wide receiver 2 or 3 hybrid. He can actually carry the ball, so he can go on the jet sweeps, whatever the case may be. I project him as, let's see, I found the comparison for him would be, we have, hold on 1 second, I have it in a bunch of notes here. Comparison for Concepcion is, why don't I have it? I gotta have it here somewhere. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Curtis Samuel hybrid. So we struck out with Curtis Samuel, but we liked what he could bring to the table, but he just couldn't bring it because he was always hurt.
Right.
So let's try to get with Casey Concepcion, 6 feet, 196. Then I went ahead and took Genesis Smith. Genesis Smith comparison, Buffalo Bills version Jordan Poyer. He's 6'2", 204. Safety, he projects as a big nickel, split safety zone style. He's ideal for the mint tight, which I talk about all the time, because he can drop and he can come up into the box and really confuse coverage. He's a developmental starter with a big nickel safety zone stabilizer, like I said. Dante Corleone, 6 feet, 340. Big boy, no stats. What does he do? He plugs the middle. He has, as Albert said a while ago, he has like a 700-pound squat. He has a 500-pound bench. Very squat. He can't be moved. He compares to DJ Reader. That's the guy that I heard a lot of people say they want to come to Buffalo.
Really quick, in the mint defense, does the nose tackle typically stay in on pass rush situations?
No, because they have what's called a speed. They have a tight speed formation too, which takes the nose out. You have Ed Oliver, Deion Walker would be double 3 techs, and then you would have your defensive ends rushing in out of a 2-point stance, so they're technically your linebackers.
Yeah.
But so I think Dante Corleone for a 1 or 0 tech would be perfect because he has no pass rush, but he can't be moved off his spot. What he does is he allows the middle linebacker and the weak side to be free to rove around and read the play without having to worry about setting blocks.
Another question. So in this mint defense, I guess would Ed Oliver be on the field full time, run and pass situations?
Yeah.
So in that 4-eye position that he would be playing, basically, let's say we drafted Corleone is our nose, and that would put Walker at the other defensive tackle spot. Yeah.
So basically, what the 4-eye does in theory, the 0 or 1 makes it the 3 gap slash available. So,
but there's two
4-eyes.
Okay.
There's 2 4-eyes, and they're both going to shoot the B gap. So they're basically defensive tackles in a traditional 4-3, but they line up wider so they can come across the face, and that leaves the guards susceptible to trying to figure out who am I blocking, because what that does, that indecision leaves that Dorian Williams to shoot the B gap that's left vacant even for a split second and get to the running back or the quarterback. So him and Bernard are going to be blitzing a lot. That's where a lot of blitz is going to come. But when you're talking about a speed, that's when you're talking about a Javon Solomon kind of player coming on the field in terms of getting rid of, if you want to take Greg Rousseau off the field or take Bradley Chubb off the field, whoever you want to whatever you want to do. Or if you want to try to fit him out there, they can play it. But you really want a speed guy out there for that. So yeah, in the other round 4 pick, I took Bo Stevens, 6'5", 315 guard. He's a power gap guard. He compares to Ben Powers. He's most known for heavy hands and strong anchor. So you're not moving him. He kind of plays a lot like who's the guy we just had? He's kind of like Edwards with more pop to him. So he's intelligent, but he's strong and he plays strong. He's stalwart. He doesn't move. He doesn't move because his feet don't move that much. He's a developmental right guard who, in time, could shift over to left guard with the offensive line coach. I see him not being a starter right away, but we don't need it. We have a log jam at the guard position anyway.
Yeah. So
this would be depth. We're in round 4, the end of round 4 anyway. Round 5, we take Elam's Orange, the 6'2", 230-pound linebacker. He's a coverage linebacker, space player. He compares to KJ Wright and Terrell Bernard. Bigger guy, like I said, but he still plays like Terrell Bernard, and he's going to be the Milano Bernard archetype. He adds a depth behind the two guys. If you're going to have a competition for Dorian Williams, you could do worse than Elam's Orange. But you also could put him over at Terrell Bernard. He plays special teams just as well. Julian Neal is the round 5 project, 6'2", 208-pound cornerback. He's a zone corner. He's press capable. He's pretty physical. He reminds me of Rasul Douglas and a Christian Benford kind of hybrid. I don't know how much Jim Leonard's style really benefits with a Christian Benford, but I can tell you with the guys, his profile, his aggressiveness as a developmental player, I could see it. A round 5 investment is not bad. Like we talked about, we got to take swings. We got to take some swings here. He's perfect for the cover 6. He matches the Benford Douglas mold. Like I said, developmental outside cornerback with the press traits. He's a cornerback 4 or 5 where we need cornerbacks as it stands right now. Pat Coogan, center out of Indiana, just won a national championship. He's a power center, but he's got interior anchor. Reminds me of Connor McGovern. Ted Karras, if you will. Stout anchor, high IQ, consistent hand placement. He's not really great for wide zone, which we don't really run anyway. We more so run the inside zones with James Cook. So I think Coogan would be a good fit as a backup, some kind of depth, some kind of insurance for Van Pern Granger if he beats out somebody in the guard position. That would work out well for me in that regard. And Harold Perkins, he ran a 4.38, 6'2", 225-pound linebacker, edge hybrid. So he'd be that guy that we're looking at in that speed formation when you want to take out Bradley Chubb or Gregory. So if you want in the 7th round, you can put him in a package where you can go get the quarterback. You can put him in a package where you can chase down a running back. He is kind of like Isaiah Simmons and Brian Asamoah.
Okay.
So he's a space athlete. The word is athlete. Somebody that's going to fly around. See, we want to get faster on defense. We want to get more aggressive. So I think
like the idea of a chess piece. You can just move around.
Yeah, I mean, and he really fits in that star. He could be that cover nickel, big nickel linebacker. Whatever case may be, hybrid.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like
so
Bodega Cat said, remember Muhammad Wilkerson? We need a player like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of old school 3-4. This is like we're not playing that style of 3-4.
No, he was good. He was good.
He's really good.
There's
another comment I wanted to get to
go ahead.
here. So Sam, that's absolutely right. Dion, I wouldn't say passion. I would say he just doesn't want to do it.
Body type.
You have to have a certain nature about yourself, a certain aggressive nature where you enjoy the challenge of taking on double teams. You know what I'm saying? I guess pause maybe somewhere in there, but
we'll consult Junie later. But no, I think Deion Walker, you're right. Nose tackle is not for the faint of heart. I played it, and your glory is making sure the people around you are not touched. That's kind of the mantra of a nose tackle. Nose tackles don't want to lose. They don't want to get pushed back. They want to be nasty. They want to be dirty. They don't care about getting to the quarterback. They don't care about getting to the running back. They know they control the gaps. They're like centers in basketball, where you don't come in my paint. Nothing is happening in my paint.
Right.
The B from B gap to A gap to B gap to A gap, or you know what I mean. The nose tackle's like, you're not doing anything anywhere in here because I got all this. That's why it's called two gapping. I got all this. Wherever you put me, you're not running by me, and they'll tell you on the line. You saw, what was it? Remember that clip was the Cincinnati? Was it? Who was that? It was. Anyway, it was a nose tackle, and they were playing prevent, and he walked through like, 5 of you guys on me, huh? All right, okay. So he lines up, and they're like, he's trying to get in there. He's like, all right, I'm playing. They're like, okay, I'm playing. But that's a nose tackle. He's like, 5 of y'all on me, great, I like it, and that's the mentality that Dion Walker doesn't have, because he doesn't have a low pad show. Yeah. That's one thing. If Dion Walker fired out of a 4-point stance, that's the only way it's going to work for him.
Yeah, and
he doesn't have the leg drive. You look at his legs; he doesn't have to drive for it. He's built from here up.
Yep.
And he's not. I want to be careful. I said he's not big per se. He's big, but he's not big. It's mostly from here to here.
Yep.
And I mean, he has decent sized arms, but this is going to shrink. But you need his legs to grow. And it sounds like no. What are you talking? As a nose tackle, everything you do, I don't care what you bench as a nose tackle, what you squat. What do you squat? What's your power clean? That kind of stuff. What's your military press? Because your shoulders and your glutes and your hamstrings, your thighs, that's what you're using. Your calves, that's what because you're almost reverse of a guard. You're trying to anchor, you're trying to engage and discard. But you're trying to discard into a gap that I'm not interested in defending. See, what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a pile over there so I can stay here. That's what a two gap is. I want him to go where I want the play to go where I want it to go, and nowhere else but where I want it to go.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if you're gonna like this one, but since I like these later picks, I think he was talking about your mock draft, but he said KC is gonna be trash.
Well, I mean, I was curious. Really, I was curious about where I could trade back to still get a wide receiver. I don't think Casey's going to be trash. I really don't. Is he going to be the best one? Maybe not, but I think he'll be the kind of guy that opens it up for the other guys. And I think he will have a decent career in Buffalo if he comes to Buffalo. But I really want you guys. This kind of break down into a reason. I'm not. No. But no, I really, the McAllister kid out of TCU, that was one that opened my eyes. He was 6'4", 215 or whatever the case may be, but he's a downfield thrower. He kind of reminds me of the way the Bills use Gabe Davis, but he has a separation to get down there, and he's physical enough to box out and get the ball. So I think in the fourth round, that's a great investment. You got 2 wide receivers, you got a high floor possible star in Casey Concepcion, might not be a star. Let's see. I mean, go look at his tape. Go look how many plays he's made where the ball was in the air up there where it didn't need to be, or how late the passes came to him, when he was open versus when he got the ball. And I think about what he does if he gets in the room with Josh Allen, where Josh Allen's like, okay, he's going to be there, and I can get that ball there. I can get there fast. You're not going to be open for long, because Concepcion was open way before he was getting the ball half the time. It's like, yo, there it is right there. And it just wasn't there. So I think benefiting by playing with a quarterback, you're going to see a better Concepcion. Yep. But I doubled down with the TCU wide receiver the last year.
Yeah. I can see that, because Concepcion's style of play, like he's physical. He's got some wiggle to him. Mm-hmm. I don't see, like, when people call him they say he's got juice. When I think of juice, I think like Zay Flowers. Like, that's a player with juice.
Some people compare him to him. I don't, but some people do say.
I'm not saying he can't be dynamic. I think he can be, absolutely. But I mean, he ran a 4.43 in the 40, and I think his there's other times he ran a 4.46. So
that's after a knee scope. He just had his knee scope, so you're talking about 4.4 flat.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? But again, 4.4 in the league for the guys that are going to be covering you is like average. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Most corners in the NFL run a 4.4.
Yeah. I think the route savvy would get some done, because he has the wiggle to get open, and I think that's what that'll do him well. He's not Zach Branch from Georgia, where he just runs by people. He's not Brennan Thompson, where he can just run past people. But I did this mock draft thinking, we get a wide, how do I get into second round? What do I do to get a second round pick and pick up assets later on the back end? If I was not so lazy, I could have used those assets to move back up into the second round. I don't even know who was there. Don't care. But I would have easily said, wow, let's go with Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas, the linebacker. All over the place. I could have easily went and got Tommy, cover your ears. I could have easily went and got.
That's why I'm putting them on. That's why I'm pulling the comments up.
But
Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, I easily could have went and got some of those guys that we've said. Did you know CJ Allen actually called the defense? He called the defense. Like, he had the green dot, but he was calling the plays.
Wow, that's
another layer.
Yeah, that's saying something.
So, I mean, that's another guy you're like, well, maybe we should do something to get him. I don't know. In the mock I did, he left, or he went to Detroit before we even got a chance to pick him. But, I mean, you're looking at his pro day. No, he looked kind of clunky, but guys with intelligence and guys that are meant elite, and that's something Jim Leonard's used to. Elite, he could use them.
Bone says Josh has always played best with smaller, quick receivers than with big, long downfield guys. I think that's part of the reason why I like the idea of the Brazils and the Hursts, because they're a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're guys with enough agility and speed, and to incorporate that that strength and speed into their route running and get much more separation than a who's the kid from Washington that people are talking about, the 6'4" receiver?
Oh, you talking about Boston?
Yeah,
Denzel Boston.
Denzel Boston, like a player like that, could he be a number one receiver somewhere like Cortland Sutton? Yeah, but Josh Allen is not throwing 50-50 balls to anybody. If he wasn't doing it with Keon Coleman the last 2 years, he's not gonna do it. So you do need to focus on, if you want bigger receivers that have the potential to block, well enough, then go get a Ted Hurst, go get a Chris Brazil, go get those bigger guys, that fit the mold of a DK Metcalf, that have speed to get separation even when they don't run the best of routes because of their speed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you got to make moves like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's hard to see that. I think it really just comes down to, and unfortunately in the NFL, there's a lot of alphas and a lot of guys that want to put their own stamp on the way that games are won. And for the longest period of time now, under Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, it's been, we want to win this way, this one specific way. We want to win with our culture being like this. We want to win with our players looking like this and feeling like this. We want to win with our locker room feeling like this. Like, cool, I get that that's what you want, but what is necessary to win a championship? At some point, you're running your company can't be about how the company feels. It's got to be about the bottom line. Like, what are your profits looking like? How are your profits going to look, year after year after year? Is it projected growth or is it just average? You have to take that into account. And I think for where we are now, the best case scenario for people who are thinking like you and I is what, plenty of people said in the chat today, which is, we just got to see. We just got to see what exists now, and we got to see what's going to happen in the draft. And I'm telling you, I got this pit in my stomach that it's going to be another one of those, okay, well, these are the players we drafted. Let's see how they do.
Right.
That sucks for me.
But I mean, anyway it goes, as long as we get a wide receiver, I like 2 wide receivers. I really want to get a quarterback because I want to say Dorian Strong is going to be back, but I don't know that. And even if he is, we still need another. Believe it or not, I feel him on that one because I know how the conversation was going. I'm with him there because basically what happened was Shada said Bishop is mediocre. Tommy said he's a dog. Shada said you don't know, you must not be watching. You're used to mediocrity. So Bishop is not good, and so Tommy's like, all right, we'll just agree to disagree.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Sometimes it be like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what you don't disagree on and what you're gonna run to, because we're talking about wide receivers, is a nice, fresh, refreshing can of. Why does I say can? It's a bottle.
And it's a plastic bottle.
It's a plastic bottle. Ooh.
That's coming up quick. It was a glass bottle. They were able to They were able to get it in plastic, and you know, there's some reasons behind, you know, moving to plastic. It's you know, better in a lot of ways for shipping.
Even fate can't keep reeds away from you, though.
Glass.
Even that fate can't keep reeds away from you because you drop it, it ain't shattered. Just pick it up. Just pick it up, right. Because the fates. If you know anything about Demir's a man of faith, and what he knows is ain't nothing too big for God. God gonna make you.
God, I'm fearing where this is going right now.
God's gonna get you that Reed's tea. Whatever God you believe in, he's gonna get you that Reed's tea.
Oh my God.
Why? Because it needs to be refreshing. We want to keep you healthy. We wouldn't push this if it didn't keep you healthy.
I feel like I should be covering my face right now.
You probably should, but it's okay. We wouldn't push it if it didn't keep you healthy. We wouldn't push it if it wasn't good for you. The black tea, it says itself. That says all right there. He chugs this stuff. Look at him, healthy. He ain't had post-nasal drip, ain't took an antihistamine, none of that stuff lately. Because he's got a health thing of that Reed's tea. I love the fact he's on the camera the whole time now. You can see his face as he just folds apart. But don't listen to him. Don't listen to me. You don't know what he does. You might. You don't know. See for yourself. Get yourself some Reeds. And when you see what it does for your health, what it does for the rings around your eyes, what it does for the puffiness, what it does for your joints, go get some more Reeds. But no, I'm not done there. Don't get one more Reeds. Get you a case. Because at this point, you locked in. Get the elixir. If you don't trust me, trust him. If you don't trust him, call somebody that's had it. Because I guarantee you somebody has. Reed's tea. Click that link. You know who to tell them sent you. PPP.
I love this tagline from Laura. The good Lord will give you what you need. Reeds.
Hallelujah.
That is epic,
Hallelujah.
Bro. That is epic. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, we got to get to the music. Let me make sure this is turned down enough, and let's get to it. Okay. I feel like all I've done in this episode is laugh. This has been such a blast. I mean, these 2 hours flew by. It's actually been 2.5 hours now. Hopefully it flew by for all of you, you know, hanging out with us there. How many likes do we have right now? I said I was going to try and, you know, jump out and make sure we had, you know, we were getting them consistently.
30 likes.
We're at 30?
30.
Oh, I only see 11 right here. The show's not over yet. There's a delay there. All right.
There you go.
We got 30. How many people we got watching? We got about 53 people there watching. Oh, like 4 of them just dropped off. Oh, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, it was 42 when I saw it.
All right. So if you would be so kind to help us out. I mean, obviously you see your contributions are helping us add to our set here. If you just look right behind Keys there, that monitor is going to provide a lot of good stuff for you. Not only is it going to house all, you know, our sponsors, they're going to be like on a like a rolling what's it called, a
marquee.
Sure, fine. You know, but we're also going to be able to do some film review stuff on that monitor with a third camera. Okay, that doesn't take into account the equipment that we were able to get a hold of to do some film review stuff that we're going to be doing with Coach D. So a lot of great stuff on the horizon, but it is only possible because you have chosen to hit that like button and really help us out. The other thing that you can do to continue to help us out is hit that subscribe button. Make sure that we're on your homepage as soon as you load up YouTube so that you don't have to go searching for us. You can get to our content right then and there. It also gives you a really quick route to get to our merch page if you're interested in supporting PPP in that way. You can go right to the store section on our YouTube channel. Hit that button. It shows you everything that we have in store. If you want to go to the store itself, all you got to do is click on one of the items. It takes you in there, and then you can go to the actual store and see everything there lined up for you. It's a really, really nice website. You can look at every single color. You can look at, you know, all of that stuff before you even, you know, click to buy. So go ahead and make sure you check that out if you want to continue to support us in that fashion. The other thing that you can do that is solely for you, that benefits you the absolute most, is hitting that bell, making that thing so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. Like, obviously, new equipment is going to be working on Friday, so make sure you tune in for that. We will be back with you live Friday at 5:30 p.m. going until 7:30 p.m. As far as big announcements, We might be having another big announcement coming up soon. I should know more by Wednesday, maybe. So I'm looking forward to that. So stay tuned. All right. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of y'all truth, no sodium takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
40 Keys.
All right. Y'all have a great night.
It was just